How's it going, everybody? Welcome. Welcome to the community Seshy. Welcome to Highly Motivated. Absolutely another incredible day, incredible evening, fantastic energy right here on the show that's not a show. A show that's just a hangout, just a get together, just a little chit chat, a little smoky smoke, sometimes a little bit more smoky smoke, sometimes more smoky smoke than I'm prepared for, I suppose. But all that being said, we are here together as community on Highly Motivated. So, lots to chit chat about, and at the same time, not lots to chit chat about. This is the show with no expectations. No expectations, no set conversations, because I really don't have anything to talk. I mean, I do. I've got serious conversations, but then again, I don't. Gavin, welcome. Welcome to Highly Motivated. I am back in the home studio, and I'm starting the show off with an espresso. It doesn't do anything for me energy-wise. I'm already full energy. I've already got like insane amounts. Right before the show, I was kind of tired. I was like, oh, hey, look, there's Gavin right over here. Let's kick Gavin right in. Hey,
What's
welcome.
up?
How you doing?
Pretty good.
You're tired.
Yeah.
You're tired.
Man, I've been painting all day.
Painting? Oh, wow. Look, okay. Hardworking man. So what have you been painting? What, you painting the house, or you...
Yeah, I paint houses. Sometimes I do commercial.
Okay, good.
Huh?
That's good. That's good
Yeah.
stuff. Look, that's hard work.
I work at a OCD painting and flooring.
OCD? Obsessive compulsive disorder?
Yep. The boss really has OCD.
So he kind of named his company after his disorder.
Right.
You know, that's using disabilities as your superpower.
It is.
I mean,
think it's pretty cool. He is really OCD. Like when he comes check our work and all that, if something's wrong, he'll make you get up and redo it.
You know, there's benefits to that. That means you know your job is going to be done right.
Yep.
You know that you know, whether the person wants it or not, it's going to be done right. Because of the OCD, because of the obsessive compulsive disorder. I have hyperactivity, and I don't even know if it's a disorder anymore, because I look at my excessive hyperactivity like a superpower.
Is that
Look, I guess attention deficit disorder. I mean, I think it's partly that, partly bipolar, maybe partly a lot of things that, you know, it is what it is. Oh, I'm going to roll one really quickly. Look, with the clear paper. So I'm using the clear paper. Hey, Troublesome Red, welcome. Highly motivated. And we've got Stealth over here. Stealth, welcome to the show. Welcome to Highly Motivated. All right, I'm just rolling up really quick. So what I do, I kind of pre-rolled in my dollar bill. I don't know if you can see that. See if you can see that. I roll the big fatty so that I'm putting this clear paper along the back end. It's kind of hard to see because it's clear paper. I'm just going to give it a quickie rolly rolls. It actually rolls pretty easily. There we go. Boom, 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 boom. It's a big paper. It is a lot of paper here. I don't lick the dollar. I'm licking the plant-based paper. Plant-based. So this is plant fiber. Oh, I did it wrong. I messed it up right here. Right here I messed it up. That's okay though. That's okay. So that is how you roll a super clear joint. Okay.
Let's see. Cool.
Oh, who else do we have here? We've got Chase. Chase, welcome into the show.
Hey, guys.
Hey, look at you. Look, you're coming to us from the dark. What, did you lose your power? Is it still cold where you are?
Yeah.
How cold? How cold?
8 degrees.
Wait, it's 8 degrees. Yeah. Holy shit.
That's crazy.
You see, I'm waiting for my medical to be delivered about. Should be today. Hey, everybody, we got Spark Space. That looks like that's Dominic over there. Dominic, welcome. Highly motivated. It is good to have you here. Dominic, where are you coming to us from tonight?
Alexa.
I want to say Dominic's pretty far away. Troublesome Red is in New Zealand. And I heard, I was watching some New Zealand politics. It just popped up out of nowhere. I'm like, oh, look at this. If you ask me what it was about now, I don't remember.
Turn off my vision lights.
Is that Aja? Aja,
Yeah,
welcome.
she's trying to fall asleep
Welcome
on you guys.
Hey, did you guys ever get the package?
No.
No, it's still saying that it's in Florida.
Shut up. That's crazy. No, but didn't it say it was in other places?
No,
Or
it
it's always
was in Florida and it was gonna be here on like a Monday or something, and then it never showed up.
The postman
What?
got some sticky
See,
fingers.
the postman probably does have some sticky fingers. They probably
Listen,
broke the
my
package and they're like,
postman-
listen.
My mailman doesn't even drive a mail van. He drives a Jeep. Like a normal
What
Jeep.
the fuck are you talking about? Now I have some interesting news tonight that I don't know. I want to talk to everybody about. Wait, weed channel. Right, there's a U.S. weed channel, like on Roku, like it's an app you can download. Have you seen this thing?
I have not. I do have Roku,
Well-
so I might look it up.
Well, I've been talking to some very incredible people over there, and they've given me a lot of information about the U.S. weed channel. Also tonight, I did want to bring it up. An update on 3I Atlas, the comet, the interstellar visitor. Also, I wanted to have a question and answer period with Lucid, where let me see, I've got Momeme 42. Hello, welcome to the show. I've got Miss Lotus. Miss Lotus, welcome to Highly Motivated.
Motivated.
I've got RHM4T. I don't know, it's a lot going on there. Hello, RHM. Welcome, welcome, welcome. That's awesome. We've got a few different people over here. Momome, it's in Escobar. I-S-K-O-U bar. Escobar. So
Something I just said it right.
I wanted to show you what we were able to roll really. I did this with the clear paper just now. And this is Acapulco Gold.
Those are the ones you were talking about last time.
Yeah, I was going to roll it last time, but I never got to it. I kind of just forgot. And, you know, we got into such good conversations. And last episode, we had so many different topics that we brought up. We were talking about everything under the sun. Like, everything under the sun. It was a great conversation, and I felt like the reason I enjoyed it so much, that was one of those conversations that you have when you have a smoke session. When you're sitting down and you're going to speak about 100 different things, and you're going to do it in like enlightening time, you know, enlightening. Let me see. So is it Momene 42? Momene 42. Welcome to the show. By the way, if you're new to the show and you've never been here before, this is a show that's not a show. This is an event. This is a digital get-together for those that can't get together in person because of bills, because of family, because of distance. We are an international show of not just smokers. Let me see. Wait, charge a card and save it for future. Oh, what is that? Ooh. Something else is going on over there. That's very good. Okay. But anyways, I'm not worried about it tonight. We're going to jump in the topics when we get to them. But it's a show that we don't really have set topics. The one thing I did have set that I do want to bring up, I'm not going to get crazy serious with our talk about, I'm not going to get crazy serious tonight. That's all. Did we talk about fermenting cannabis the last show?
Yes, we did. Or a
We did?
little on it. Not a whole lot.
Let me see. This is Lucid's real answer. The future, and you're touching it. The world must move on from the lead. Okay. So I was. Okay. Before I forget, every episode I like to talk about the benefits of cannabis, the benefits of growing cannabis for fuel, to make fuel, ethanol, to replace single-use plastics, to help support the loss of rubber trees, which are going through a massive die-off and a massive blight. So using hemp properly, hempcrete, creating bricks that don't burn, or houses
I've
that
seen
don't
that
burn,
stuff,
that don't
yeah.
require insulation, that don't require sheetrock.
Have you seen the foam houses they started building where they literally
I've
just
seen
put them
that.
together?
That's awesome.
They're
That
literally
is
fireproof,
awesome.
man.
Right? I mean, that's
Yeah.
absolutely incredible. So when you start looking at things like that, today, I was hearing something on NPR, National Public Radio. So while on NPR, they were talking about batteries, the lead in the batteries. So the lead is having to be recovered because we are running out of lead deposits. And we don't have as much mined lead deposits. So tonight's show, I kind of wanted to bring a little bit more attention to other things that hemp can be used for. For example, hemp can be used as a battery. You make hemp car batteries, hemp truck batteries, house batteries without lead. So the reason it's such a very important thing, you don't have to use lead. But the reason I wanted to bring this up is in this report, so many people are getting sick. And they're not just getting sick in one country, they're getting sick in multiple countries. And it's such a frightening thing that so many families are being poisoned because of these lead factories, these reclamation factories. People are working in impoverished countries, breaking apart these batteries, reclaiming the lead, getting lead poisoning, lead sicknesses, just some really terrible things. Hey everybody, we got Bang Skateboards. Bang Skateboards joining us on the Insta Cha-Cha. Welcome to Highly Motivated. So I'm back in the home studio. I was on the road. I was in South Carolina for the last couple days. I just got back late last night, and wow. I mean, it's a beautiful place. It really is. South Carolina, definitely a beautiful place. Lots of business to do out there. Lots of important things. And I have to say, I felt it was very beneficial. I'm very happy I was able to make it out there and visit all the businesses that I did. But it's good to be home. It's good to be home. It's good to be back in the home studio. And yeah. So anyways, we're going to talk about a lot of things. We're going to talk about hemp as batteries and why we're not using hemp batteries. Also tonight, we're going to talk about the global lead battery crisis. This is huge. These are things people are not talking about. So tonight's show, while we might have it as a micro topic and we might talk about many different things, tonight, I want to talk about this. I want to talk about something that is so ingrained in our society, lead batteries, and how we have an option. Once before we had this conversation, I was talking about hemp ethanol fuel, where we can replace foreign fuel with fuel that we grow right here. We grow it. We don't have to pump it out of Mother Earth and steal her blood, but instead we can grow our own fuel using hemp. And then from the byproducts, we can make batteries from the byproducts. So let me start it off really quickly. So I did ask Lucid to help me put together some of the research, and I did go back and make sure that a lot of the things Lucid had put together were absolutely correct. So everything we talk about tonight is not hearsay. Hey, I've got what is this? Is this Bill? Wait, no, it's BII 14105. Well, welcome to Highly Motivated. You're joining us on the Insta Cha-Cha. By the way, everybody, you can get us on the Instagram, on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitch, Kick, Rumble, YouTube. That's a lot of places. Soon we'll be available on Podbean and we'll be available on Spotify. And right now I'm talking about possibly getting our show on a television channel.
Ooh.
This was something I was so excited about. I wanted to say it now. So the US Weed channel, if you have not checked it out, you can download it on your Roku. You can download it as an individual app, but it is available as a television channel, and it's the United States or the US Weed channel, the only compliant cannabis channel that is out there anywhere.
That's cool.
So we might also be able to broadcast our live sessions on the US Weed channel.
That's cool.
So I think that's super awesome. We're definitely expanding in places and ways that we could have never anticipated. And I love that because we're reaching so many people. We're reaching so many friends, so many new energies. So I'm really pleased as punch to be available in all of these places. Okay.
Getting big,
Let
Warren.
me see. You know, we're all getting big. It's all of us. It's all of us are getting big. It's not me. Me on my own is just I'm just an Oregonji. We are all Oregonjis. But with all of you, this is what makes the show. Look,
Right.
It's the energy. It's the community. It's just a get together. And it's checking in on you, making sure you're doing okay. You know, Giraffe is doing well, I imagine. I'm sure you talked to him today.
Oh, yeah. He's
just
at
left.
Aunt's house right now.
He's right there. Is he there?
He usually is. He just left
funny.
like 20 minutes ago to go
That's
to
fucking
his aunt's house, check it out.
So basically, Giraffe lives with Gavin. He doesn't, but he does. That's like
Oh, no,
like
he
his
does.
buddy. That's it. Oh, he does. He lives there. That's it.
Yeah,
That's his buddy.
He pays rent for him.
He pays rent. He's there that much.
Yeah.
So before I start talking about lead batteries, let me see. Oh God, that had to be terrible. Oh, there were some terrible things happening. I don't know what was terrible. I must have missed it.
He said that a while ago.
Did they?
Yeah.
I'm just catching it.
What happened?
That was like before we got on.
Mm.
It tells you how long it takes me sometimes to see shit. I'm
Cheers.
I'm not there completely. Cheers. Here, cheers
Cheers.
everybody.
Hold on.
I'm gonna light up for everyone. This is at least a 2-grammer. So Acapulco Gold is a land race strain.
Ooh.
I'm lighting up a land race old school OG
I wish.
right here. Okay, wait, I'm a little disappointed with them. I had to try. The smoke is okay. The high was okay. Or the entourage was okay. The taste was okay. It's supposed to be high in terps. But I got these people's signature blend. And I'll be honest, it was the tiniest nuggy nugs I've ever seen. Itsy bitsy nug nugs. So actually, let me just show it. I'll show you. I'm not going to even say who they are. This is supposed to be their signature. And I'm so upset. Look at the tiny itsy bitsy nuggies.
Well, popcorn nugs.
Now, they are. Now, this is Acapulco Gold, and the colors are okay. But I expected... And the nose is good. The nose is okay. The nose is all right. You see those? But the nuggies are so tiny. It's like it came off a baby tree. What kind of bullshit is this? Let me see. Do you see this? Look
do.
They
at
went in
that.
the ditch and they picked
These-
them out of a ditch.
Thank you. Listen, I talk about big old nuggy nugs. I ordered from farmtocouch.store and I ran out because it was so good. I smoked it. Like I smoked all of it. And it was just so delicious. So now I'm dealing with these itsy bitsy nug nugs. Look at that. It's like tiny. But it was Acapulco Gold. And I was so excited because it's Acapulco Gold. I was like, okay, I'm just going to go and get it. So I rolled a 2-grammer here. Okay, which end? Which end am I going to pick?
Was it in Florida?
Yeah, it was here in Florida.
Okay.
All right, I was in Palatka earlier today. My daughter had to go to the dentist, so I took my oldest daughter to the dentist. Holy shit, fucking braces and extraction of teeth and what the fuck? Ah! Holy
I hate
shit,
dinner.
holy. You know, it's true. No, Bang is right. The brocks of the pure sativas, the old school sativas are very small. But no, I've had Acapulco Gold where the nuggies were like a good chunk of nug. I mean, the nug was nice. These looked like maybe they harvested it a little too early. That's what it looked like to me. Like they didn't have enough time to really develop as they should.
Yeah.
And I did smoke some of it earlier just to test it and make sure it was, I mean, again, the terps were there, the smoke was okay, but it wasn't what I was looking for. Yes, it is. See, Bang is right. Bang is saying Acapulco Gold at a dispensary is a nice find. It is. It's one of the, look, it's Northern Lights, it's Acapulco Gold, it's Panama Red. Look, those strains sing to me. Sing, Durban Poison, or Durban, Double Durban, a chocolate tie. Wow. I get
My favorite's black Afghan.
Cheers, everybody.
Yeah, mine's super boof.
Oh, Super Boof is lovely. But
I
it's
just
a
had Super Brew. Right now I'm
Emerald
smoking on some-
Apricot and Mount Hood Magic are my favorite crosses.
That
Mount
or
Hood
apple and
Magic
banana.
is apple banana is good too. The Mount Hood Magic is Northern Lights and Durban Poison.
Ooh.
Let me do it. Give it a little.
Yeah, right now I'm smoking on some fruit pops.
Fruity Pops. Fruity
Yeah.
Pops. So I picked this up from SST Travi. By the way, I'd like to send out good energy to SST Life, SST Travis. Good ups to you. You're doing a great job out there. Rob Harmon with Veterans Cannabis Care. Big ups. Rob is kicking ass. Rob is out there taking names. He's at MJ Biz, giving them the business. That's what it's all about. MJ Biz is going on right now in Vegas. Is it still going on? I think it is. So we're smoking from a clear paper. Very smooth, right off the start. Acapulco Gold, an absolute OG. And it is. It's so hard to find Acapulco Gold at a dispensary. But I had to pick some up because I was completely out. I need to do another order from Farm to Couch. Farmtocouch.store is killing it. Killing it with their bud. Beautiful stuff.
I'm gonna get some water.
Yeah, you might want to get some water. What are you dying over there? What's going on? So tonight's conversation, it's kind of a deep one. Look, it's a global problem. And on this show, if we can't sit here and talk about global problems, then what is it good for? If we can't talk to each other about what's wrong in the world around us, we can make that change as a group, as a community, as human beings. Human beings, I tell you. Very exciting stuff. So let's jump right in. The global lead battery crisis. And this is something that really almost nobody is talking about. Most of look, for example, the rubber crisis or the rubber trees having a blight and a lot of them dying. Have you guys heard anything about rubber production having a problem?
No. I do.
They're not going to tell you while they destroy generations of rubber trees. An industry is in incredible amounts of trouble. And of course, these corporations are never going to say anything about it.
Right. I do.
Pretty sure glitter's also going down too.
I do think about the benefits about hemp, like what it can do, but I haven't thought about the way you're thinking about it, I don't know how to put it.
How ingrained it can. Look. Right now, our industry, the reason we can't replace fuel and plastics is because we go back 100 years more with the way things are right now. Mm-hmm. And we're all used to the get along with the go along or go along with the get along. And we want to make changes, but not at the cost of our pocketbook. We want to make changes, but not at the inconvenience of our time and our effort. That's where we need to change. That's where we need to change the world around us, because ethanol hemp saves us on so many different levels. Getting rid of single-use plastics save us on so many levels. Helping the rubber economy. Now, wait, Chase said something a moment ago. Chase, what else are we running out of?
Pretty sure I heard something about like glitter or something.
Glitter?
Yeah. Like
glitter. Yeah. Like.
Well,
nobody knows what it's even made of. Like, nobody knows what glitter is made of.
I'll tell you what it's made of. It's made of crushed dreams. It's fucking made no. No, you know something? Glitter can go to hell. You know, if that's what we're gonna run out of, fuck you, glitter. Listen, just be done.
We don't need no glitter. We don't need no bedazzle. But Oren, we need to get together and we need to make gas with hemp.
So we start biodegrading it. We have to put it into a process with the hemp herds. And we take these hemp herds and it has to go through a certain process, basically where it's extracting the ethanol.
Right. I think
And
that'd
yes,
be
we
really
do.
dope.
I think that's a great idea. If we can find a way to make a small batch and show people you can make fuel
Like the
from
guy that's
hemp.
doing the plastic thing.
So
Right.
now a lot of this is beyond our capabilities of processing facilities and whatnot, but maybe we can do a live or do an episode from a place that's turning it into plastics
Right.
and explain the biodegradable natures, how we can sustain it until it's actually put into a composting breakdown situation. But in that, you didn't know we're running out of rubber. You didn't know the trees are dying. You didn't know we're almost out of glitter. I think the adult entertainment dancers are going to be very upset about that. They are supporting the glitter industry wholeheartedly.
They are.
So I figured with all these things going on around us, in every episode, I like to talk about something hemp can save us. Look, we talk about it as medicine. We talk about it recreationally. We talk about it mentally. Fuel, obviously, superfood, yes. We make tea, we do this. It can be turned into fuel, oil, other byproducts, plastics, single use. Not all plastics, but a lot of plastics. So here we go. This is why the global lead battery crisis has become an issue that nobody's talking about. So you've heard, I heard of Nigeria on NPR. So Nigeria has become an epidemic, has become a health epidemic. Everybody welcome Stealth to Highly Motivated.
Motivated. What's up, Stealth?
Hey, Gavin. Hey, Chase.
up?
Asia. Warren.
Nigeria is a problem. Howdy, Stealth. Nigeria is a problem where it's a health concern, and it's a health concern in multiple ways. But the lead battery recycling, it's one of the most toxic jobs on earth. And Nigeria is not the only place that's having an epidemic. India, Bangladesh, Vietnam, Indonesia, Mexico, these third world countries, not necessarily third world, all of them, but mass population, not enough jobs, not enough food, not enough money. And people are in these millions of people are being exposed to lead fumes. People that are not even in the factories and just getting what's wafting down from the factories. Incredibly poisonous, but from the fumes, the dust, contaminated soil. And they have places where batteries are just stacked up and people without shirts are ripping open battery cases, reclaiming lead. And at first thought, you're like, how bad is this?
They removed the lead paint, so lead batteries, geez, that's gotta be worse, right?
No, 100%. And it scares me that us as a country, as a world, is not looking at this and saying, wait a second, there's got to be a better way. Look, this is from a simple person. I'm not overcomplicating it. I look at what cannabis is capable of doing. I look at what hemp is capable of doing. And in those capabilities, it's capable of being a battery, replacing lead. So why is this not something we're doing? Why is this something we're not looking at? So, and the reason they're doing this, just so you know, because informal recycling yards break open old car batteries by hand. They melt the lead over charcoal fires, and they dump the acid into the ground. That's what's happening in these third world countries. That's why they're poisoning the land. It's not being done in factories, it's being done out in the open, in giant pits. The children breathe it in. The families are drinking it as part of the well water that they're getting because this is poisoning the aquifers. Workers absorb it through the skin and through their lungs. These people are poisoned, lead poisoning to an extreme. I mean, look, Stealth was just saying lead paint, and they went through and had to remove these from houses and especially paint over things. Lead paint was such a danger. Imagine this. It causes irreversible brain damage. Irreversible brain damage. I mean, even tiny amounts will permanently lower your IQ. It causes learning disabilities, behavioral disorders, people get seizures, organ damage, much higher risk of early death, weakens the immune system. Imagine if you're in it in this situation all the time. So, and here's where it's crazy. The WHO, the World Health Organization, is estimating 800 million people worldwide have blood lead levels high enough to cause measurable neurological harm.
That's crazy.
800 million people. Have you
Not
heard
one
of
of them.
it? Look, it's terrible. Don't be like that. Stealth, have you heard of this crisis that's happening
No.
worldwide?
But I know that like in India they have like I don't want to name the wrong name, but I could be wrong. The Ganges River or something. It's just filled with
No, it's the most polluted.
It is.
You
And
know,
people bathe.
like,
They bathe in this river. They drink from the river. I mean, they poop in the river. What the fuck
yeah.
is wrong?
Yeah,
and it's all those plastics. Like if they could be replaced with biodegradable hemp and weed-based products. And I just did a search because I was interested. You're like, well, you can make batteries out of hemp, and you can. There's like a whole bunch of things. You can make supercapacitors. And
Yes.
From the carbon. I had no idea.
How amazing is it that we can use this one plant and replace so much else? I mean, you're talking about 800 million people being affected. Why are we not changing the way things are? Now, that simple question I'm asking you, it's almost rhetorical. I'm still asking it, but it's almost rhetorical. Why? Why
Cheaper.
have we not made what?
Well, it's cheaper to just mine the lead and do the things. The cheapest route is always going to win, right? Like,
Is it cheaper because that's what we've been doing for 100 years? Is it cheaper because that's what's already happening within?
Yeah, that's already that's what's already happening. So it's a cheaper thing. Like, how much water would you need to grow all this vast amount? Like, look how much land there is. Like, we could be growing vast fields of hemp for every kind of thing, right? Like, isn't that possible?
100%.
I don't know.
No, well, okay. So you remember quite a while ago, I came out with my letter to Trump. And it really should have been just a letter to the American people. Because no, Trump doesn't give a shit. Trump doesn't care about anybody but his pocketbook. And if it benefits him, then he'll make sure it benefits the rest of the country. Now, am I political? No. Have I ever really made an opinion on this show? No. But in that, when it comes to hemp, he sees an option to change the world, to leave a mark that will change the world for everybody. Everybody.
Yeah.
But because it's not benefiting his pocketbook, it's something that will be continued to be buried.
Yeah.
To benefit his benefactors.
I didn't like they went backwards on that other hemp thing, like the THCA or whatever. I mean, you can't blame everything on Trump. I mean, some of that is just
okay, but he
right?
signed it. He allowed it to come in. So he said, no new bills will be submitted to get the government running once again. He said very clearly, I take people for what they say, by face value. And if he said, I can't do a Trump impression right now because, he angers me at the moment. But because of that, it doesn't mean I don't support our president. Of course, I always support whoever's in office. They're the leader of the country. So you've got to support them whether you agree or whether you don't. But you can still have your opinions and push those opinions.
Yeah, you can always have your own
no
opinion.
new bills. Zero. We will not add anything to this. Nothing is added. They specifically added the 2018 Farm Bill loophole that we call being closed.
See, he doesn't support weed because he doesn't even drink alcohol.
No.
So it's not like something that's even like he thinks about, right? Like, it's not even whether, a lot of the other things you said. I mean, I don't disagree with that. People are generally out for themselves, but he's not into that. Like, he might even be against it.
Well, and you're right. You're 100% right. I think his personal beliefs, but he's not a man necessarily of personal belief. He's a man of personal motivation. Look, he is motivated by control, by money, by the
He's a
clout.
businessman.
But yes,
He's a
but
businessman.
he,
That's right.
I'm a businessman. He's a businessman. Well, but he also is a showman. Look, remember the show he had for
He had
so
a TV
long?
show. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And
He
he
used to be on
loved
WWE.
firing people. He loved to fire people. He wasn't one of these people who's like, I really apologize. We're going to be letting you go. No, he was like, you're fired. Get the fuck out.
Right.
It's like, oh my God. What the? He had.
You're fired. You're just terrible. You did a rotten job. You probably have no soul. Like he just
well, right. But so when he
into
became
people.
president, I was like, this guy is going to be fucking ruthless. And he was. But he was halted by, I believe, a manufactured disease. I believe they manufactured COVID to bring down our economy.
Yeah,
they manufactured
really
COVID to destroy our economy, and then they also manufactured COVID in order to control the human population.
And the mail-in ballots
fucking
too.
Vaccines. Yes, and mail-in
Joe
ballots
Biden,
so they can keep the ballots now.
Joe Biden had more votes than any president or human being in the history of the world. Like, and they actually say that, like that's not actual reality though. Like, he didn't have more votes than Obama. People liked Obama.
Well,
people didn't really like Biden.
They did, but I think he underwhelmed. When it comes to Obama, people liked him. But I think he was underwhelming in the sense that they expected so much more from him and from his promises.
Well, yeah,
and
after
instead
Bush,
what they got was the same as Bush. Instead,
Bush
what they got was the same as every fucking president.
Yeah. I mean, Bush and Dick Cheney were like waterboarding people and stuff, and Dick Cheney was just so evil. Like
Obama was doing it nicely.
Obama was a savior after that, right? Like,
that's how people thought. But he had a lot of black ops programs going on. He was also one of those who's like, look at this hand, but don't look at this one back here.
Right.
Obama was one of those. They all are. Look, they're all the same, and they are all interconnected via the skull and bones. We'll talk about that at another time, but they are. He was part of the whole initiation program. They all
they're part of a club, and you're not in it.
This is a little off topic, Oren.
This is.
I actually just seen a Facebook post not too long ago about like weed smokers about CHS. Have you heard about CHS?
Cannabinoid hypermesis syndrome is bullshit. I'll tell you what the fuck it is. So I reposted my article. I did see this. They're fucking scare tacticking people again. Look, CHS, cannabinoid hypermesis syndrome. People get hot, they throw up, they get the fucking shakes. They're going through a myriad of
It's called greening out.
And, well, that's what they said. They said it's from too high of THC. Really?
You can't overdose.
Like they're just having a head rush, like whatever.
No. They're having symptoms. And I'm going to tell you what they're from. And I've proven this from 2 different independent farms. Now, okay. So they say it's from greening out, from having too much high THC, overwhelming and overloading your system. But that's bullshit. And I'm going to tell you why it's bullshit. Because we weren't getting CHS 10 years ago. We weren't getting cannabinoid hypermesis syndrome when it wasn't a corporate grow, when it was still home grows, when it was still craft grows, when it was still small, beautifully operated grows that were not using mass amounts of pesticides or fertilizers or boosting facilities or boosting capabilities.
A good point.
We weren't doing that shit back then. We didn't do that. And nobody fucking had CHS.
They're trying to corporatize weed. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to have a couple big players, right? Yeah.
Well, in that corporatization, though, we have gotten CHS in what they've done to the plant. So here, there's a farm in Vegas or in Nevada, and I'm friends with the guy over there. And we were just talking one day, and he goes, shit, everybody in the farm has started to get sick. I'm like, what are you talking about? And he described all of these symptoms. And they had to have like a cold bath or something, or a cold shower to help reset their endocannabinoid systems. They changed fertilizers and they changed supplements or how they were feeding the plants in this very closed off greenhouse. It was a very isolated event, and everybody there was showing some kind of like symptoms. And he told me the symptoms. I'm like, wait, really? Do you know what that sounds like? And he goes, what? I go, CHS. And it was a thing at the time, cannabinoid hypermesis syndrome. And he's like, yo, that does sound like it. I'm like, I know. I go, how many people there are smoking it? I'm like, hardly any. Maybe half of the people smoke, but they smoke other shit. So a bunch of different people smoking different shit all got CHS, but also the people in the farm that weren't smoking got CHS or the same symptoms. So over the next 2 weeks, we talked about it and people were having a lot of problems. So they stopped. I go, how about stop using and go back to what you guys had before? He goes, you got it. Let's try it. Let's try it. So third week in, they started trying it. Within a couple of days, people's symptoms were going away. That means, because they didn't have, it was idiopathic. They had no cause. They went to the doctors and the doctor's like, well, you got high chemicals here. You got this, you got that. But I can't exactly see what's wrong with you. People that don't even use cannabis were getting sick. So all of a sudden they changed back to their old nutrients, their old fertilizers. And slowly but surely, everybody in that greenhouse got better. Now, we slowly started to put it together when another friend of mine in another greenhouse in another part of the United States, up in the Emerald Triangle, they were doing some shortcuts and they were using some cheaper pesticides, cheaper stuff they were using. Everybody that came in contact with that greenhouse was showing signs of CHS. Everybody in that greenhouse was showing signs of, getting hot, getting cold, like they were sick, but they're not. They were throwing up. They were getting dizzy, like they were having dizzy spells out of nowhere. All the symptoms that you would see with cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome were happening because of the chemicals in the grow. So it was shortly after that, putting together these two independent farms, and nobody were smokers in the other place. When they changed back to the old pesticides, fertilizers, everybody got better. So I kind of put one and one together.
I mean, or in Japan, they have something called the Japan paradox when it comes to cigarette smoking. And it turns out that, like, if you're a cigarette smoker in Japan, for whatever reason, people don't know why, there's really no cancer. Like, there's no increased risk of cancer in Japan. And the only difference is the fertilizer. They use, here they use lime, which is lime and uranium, I think, naturally grow together or something like that.
Uranium is like...
Yeah. So the uranium in the fertilizer is what might be causing the cancer. And they do a bunch of other crap too. But in Japan, you don't have that problem.
Wow. See, that is crazy.
Yeah.
So Japan doesn't have that issue.
Right.
But here in the United States, we have that problem.
Yeah, I mean, whatever you put
in, the chemicals
that
are being put into it. So I'll tell you something. So when I talked to these two farms and they went back to their old chemicals, or they went back to their old pesticides, their old fertilizers, nobody got sick.
Why did they switch?
Nobody got sick.
It was the cheaper or better?
They do it because of cost. And I'm not going to tell you what big box cannabis company this was for. Two different companies.
Yeah, you don't
I
have
talked
to
to a
name
little
names.
bit of everybody. So I get word from all over the place.
It's good to be brand
big box companies.
Yeah,
They
it's
were
good
both
to be
big boxes.
It's good to be
Big
brand
MSOs,
friendly
big
and not call
multi-state
people
operators.
out. Right.
Well, I'll tell you though, they even operate here in Florida.
Yeah, you don't have to name names.
And
I mean, I get it.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Yeah.
No, because I have worked for one of them.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of fucks it up, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know. That narrows it down. Not recently. Let's go back a couple of years.
Right.
The people I worked for a couple of years ago.
Yeah, well, companies are made up of people, so like it doesn't really matter.
Organic,
what the company
pesticide,
names
and
are.
fungicide. Look, that's why I love Goldflower. They only do organics. Look, or comparable to organics. I'm very specific about the bud that I smoke now. And look, in commercial cannabis is what's brought on CHS.
Commercial cannabis.
Cannabinoid. Yes.
We need
cannabinoid
artisans.
hyperemesis syndrome was caused because of commercial cannabis. We didn't have this shit back in the day, yo. We grew. Listen, we cut a couple of corners sometimes. We tried new fertilizers, but guess what? They were organic. They were organic. They were multiple different poops.
I think
of different animals.
I think I grew
all blended
I was
together.
just about to say shit.
I mean, all you
Right. Why don't we go back to shit?
It's all good weed nowadays, right? Like, I don't know, the past 10 years, like before that, it was just reg weed. Like, I don't know if these guys have even, the younger guys here have even had regular weed. Like,
look, swiggity swag, reggie,
just
regs.
regs.
Man, sometimes that shit was okay though.
It was okay.
Sometimes that shit would get you really high.
Yeah, sometimes
but
it was tasty. Yeah. Yeah.
And it was so many seeds, and you'd be smoking and they'd be popping off in the joint.
Seeds, that's...
You're like, and you had to tilt your tray to you break up your weed.
Yeah, seeds roll, but weed does
fall.
not. So and you, it's like sifting gold, right? Like with the pan, and the seeds roll out.
By the way, everybody, welcome James. James, welcome to Highly Motivated.
Hey, James.
So that's the thing, though. Look, in commercial cannabis, and I just see Bang talking about it here on the Insta Cha-Cha, and medical patients also have compromised immune systems. Yes, they do. And they are much more susceptible to the poisoning. And so this is what I want to call it. And I don't want to call it cannabinoid hypermesis syndrome.
Right.
I want to call it cannabis or poisoned cannabis or cannabis poison syndrome.
Right.
Where these big box companies are
whatever's in the soil. Whatever you put in the soil is in the plant. The plant comes from the soil. It's the nutrients. So
100%.
You know?
100%. And that's so when you ask about CHS, Shay, Gavin, I'm glad you brought it up because it's become mainstream. If they say it enough times, we start to believe it. If they say it loud enough, we start to believe it.
We need to take weed away from the people for the terrible impacts of CHS. Everyone knows that, Oh yeah, dude, And behind the scenes,
they're getting today or something. I was like, "What the fuck?"
On the mainstream news, you saw it?
Yeah, well,
really?
I was on Facebook.
I saw it on mainstream articles.
Yeah,
mainstream
and they
article.
were talking
okay.
about it on TV.
Oh,
about
an
epidemic now that is going through the cannabis industry through these recreational markets.
The TV is totally fake. ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox, all of them. They're all just.
We talked about it on an episode, right?
Yeah.
They're all controlled by three
It's
different
all fake,
networks
yeah,
that are all
sure.
getting the news from the same place, and they're making the shit up.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. Look, I see James is like, just grow your own. You're right. Absolutely. If they let me grow my own.
I wish.
But they don't. I grow beautifully. I've got every finger on my hand.
It should just be legal to grow your own, man. Big plants and that'd be wonderful, wouldn't it?
It should be. But you know what? But you know why? Wait. I'm going to mention this. You know why? It's control. Look, if we grow our own plants, we can grow our own fuel. If we grow our own plants, we can make our own batteries. Or process in the plastics, or we can combine to the conglomerate, which will do that.
Yeah, they say they stopped Tesla from transmitting electricity freely without wires, and that they held back that invention
because they couldn't charge for it.
Probably did too.
If you can't charge for it,
and you can't control either, right? Like it's cost and
100%.
Control. Because they can just shut us all off right now. They can just shut off the internet, shut off the power.
100%.
They have us under control. We're in a big prison.
But they've made our speech so fake. They've made us conspiracy theories, or they're like, oh, these people are just crazy. Crazy for Americans, crazy for a good life, crazy for being healthy, and a truthful government. I know that was a stretch. A truthful society. Look, our civilization is engineered all the way down to our news. You say fake news, I say yes, it's fake. I don't watch it. It's depressing.
Speaking about that internet thing, like shutting off the internet and all the power and all that.
The power and everything,
They've done that like recently, like maybe like 3-4 months ago. Facebook, Snapchat, Messenger, everything wasn't working. Netflix.
Yeah, well, that's because the internet is a big like tower, a Jenga tower. Like if one little thing, and all the web applications are built on the same shared libraries and packages, and if one package gets screwed up, it can take down the entire internet.
And it was international though, like no one was working.
It was like Cloudflare. I think Cloudflare was the name of the last outage, but it could have been another one before that.
Yeah. Oh no, it was crazy.
So
I
there
was
is
like,
an
yo.
internet that's happening on the surface,
Yeah.
and then there's an internet that happens below the surface.
Yeah. And
I'm not going to necessarily say it's the dark web because it isn't as dark as you think, but it's more isolated.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like how I feel about our governments. We have a government on the surface, and then we have a government running everything through the ages under the surface. So when you ask, why are these big MSOs changing pesticides and chemicals and fertilizers? Because maybe this organization or this organization says, hey, I'm going to give it to you cheaper. And cheaper saves them millions a year. Millions a year goes back into their pockets or goes back into the pockets of somebody else. You know, it does come down to lighting. It does come down to people. It does come down to community. And when you can spot these things and change them, that's how we move energy. That's how we make things happen. That's why tonight I still want to talk about the lead battery crisis. Look, when I said 800 million people worldwide are being affected by this, 800 million, that's not chump change. That's not even a couple of million. That is unfathomable amounts of people. These are children, these are workers. Look, that means nearly 1 in 10 humans on Earth is being poisoned by lead. Now, saying that means lead, and the number one source is reclaimed lead from old car batteries.
Wow.
The number one source of all of that poisoning, 1 in 10 humans on this entire planet, comes from the lead poisoning of old car batteries.
Now, look.
So I sat here and I said, that's why I want to do hemp. So wait, what are you saying, Stealth?
Well, no, it's okay. Yeah, I don't want to talk over either. Yeah, I mean, you see them spray stuff in the sky, and they say, "Oh, that's because every plane went that same direction, and that's why there's lines in the sky." But if you look up there, you're like, "What the fuck are they spraying up there? Why the fuck are they spraying it?" Excuse my French.
No, it's okay. You need to be angry
why
about it.
Are they
this
doing
is the air
that?
You breathe.
You know? And then you hear Trump. He's like, "We are going to look into that." And it's like, Fort Knox.
Why would they look into something they're doing?
And look, there's a whole list of things like that they didn't look into. Fort Knox. We didn't hear back on that. He promised we're going to go to Fort Knox. No, they didn't. Area 51 with the aliens and disclosure. They never tell you the truth. I think there's a book, and I never read it. It's called Machiavelli the Prince. And the guy is like us. He's like, yeah. And then he gets to become the king or whatever. And then I think they take him in the back room and they're like, dude, if you told everybody the truth, everything would become unraveled. Right? So it's an interesting avenue to explore.
It's an interesting thing. Well, Trump said all these things, and I'm quite sure they showed him. And they gave him the option.
Yeah, he's like, oh shit, there's no gold. What the fuck? I can't.
If you unravel the real story,
the economy would crash overnight, right? Like,
correct. And people would go crazy because they've been lied to, or they'll find out how long they've been lied to.
I know I've been lied to since 2005, and I can't really name names, but they had this incident in New York, and it was on 9/11. And the buildings came down. And I don't really want to talk about it too much because it's been talked about to death. But you mentioned the Pentagon, and everybody's like, oh, yeah, the Pentagon was kind of shady. Like, how did that happen? You mention that to anybody, and pretty much everybody, even people that, like, believe everything else, they're like, yeah, I kind of don't believe that part of it. You know what I mean? Like, and I'll just go, and I'll leave it at that because there's just so many other things, right, with that are wrong. In so many ways that have been like talked about,
it's not even wrong. When I say it's not even shady. So from what I know, it was all set up.
Yeah. It
was a multi-phase, multi-country,
right?
Distraction.
It could have been space aliens too. Like there could have been cooperation with extraterrestrial intelligence.
As much as people think, right? Well, no, as much as people think that our government would not do that to us, they've done it to us before.
Yeah.
They've done it to us many
And maybe our
times.
government's not in control. Maybe it's an extraterrestrial government. And there was a lady, Judy Wood, who her theory was like laser beams, like these particle, I forget what they call it. I don't want to say the Hall effect, but it's this effect. That guy that levitates the bowling balls and all the weird things.
So maybe
it was maybe thing like she claimed.
Something happened and we got attacked. and we covered it up
Maybe that's it.
with a false flag attack.
And they were stealing gold, and there's probably like 10 things going on at the same time.
But that's the thing. There's a million theories. But
and,
even though there's a million theories, think about this. In that, there's a little bit of fact.
Yeah.
In that, the real story is lying underneath all of that rubble.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Because what it destroyed and how it destroyed wasn't possible.
Right.
The way it came down wasn't possible. Why other buildings came down, not even connected.
Right.
What the fuck is this?
That's why I can't talk about it, because
they all came like a control.
I'll just get in trouble.
Look, 2 planes hit 1 building.
Right.
But 2 other buildings came
Yeah,
down.
3 buildings and 2 planes or something, right? And they say the one in Pennsylvania that came down, maybe that was supposed to go to the other building. I don't know. It's been talked about a lot, right? You know,
but that's the thing. No, that's exactly it. So now you start looking at all these things. So wait. That's what I'm saying. We can't.
Yeah, you see, you notice everything else.
The government at face value.
Right. You notice everything else.
We can't trust them at face value. No, absolutely not. That's why. Look, I'm with you 100%. And when we're talking about, and one night we will have a 9/11, because I watched both planes hit the buildings.
Yeah, I watched it all live too. And then when in the afternoon they brought down the other building, I'm like, oh yeah, they must have had like dudes like rappel down the building and plan charges and then bring it down, because that was the official story at that time. Yeah, we brought it down for safety reasons, but now they're no, we didn't bring it down. What are you talking about?
Well, no, look, and that's the thing. If they say something enough, they're going to try to make us believe it.
Right.
I really quickly want to address this over here on a different note. So James was mentioning about Florida, and what about Florida? You know what's going to happen in Florida? Let me tell you, a lot of shit's going to happen in Florida, and I think we are getting ready for a renaissance. I know a lot of people tell me I'm totally wrong, but a lot of the flower has been getting really good here in Florida. Some of the grows, some of the big boxes are still doing shit, but there are some grows out there that are really bringing some awesome product to the table. That, look, lately I've been traveling the United States, and I've gone to a couple of recreational states. I've gone to a couple of medical states. I've gone to, states that just have the THCA. And in that, I have found that Florida's cannabis is on par.
Probably the best, right?
Like Florida's medical cannabis is kind of on par with like good Oregon weed, good Cali weed. And I was like, what? Shut the fuck up. But not everybody. I'm not going to say all of our suppliers. I'm going to say there are maybe our top 3. The top 3 here in Florida, maybe the top 4 are producing flower, cannabis, marijuana. I mean, in good quality, in comparability to decent shit in Colorado, decent shit in Oregon, in Cali. I've been shocked. So Florida weed is actually not as bad as we may think, James. But in that, so James is mentioning Morgan, and Morgan's on our side. He is. He's a lawyer. He is and he isn't. Don't just because he pushes for a different reason. But that being said, so here in Florida is an interesting thing. So he mentioned they blasted us off the ballot for Florida recreational. They did. Well, that was last time. And now a judge just disqualified 200,000 signatures. Look at the control. And DeSantis said, it's okay. He's right. No. He was right. He did it. He was supposed to do it. There you go. DeSantis wants it to stay medical because he has interest in medical operations. And so what's wild here in the Florida market, though, we have so many dispensaries waiting to get their license, and they are suing the states for not getting their license right now, and they've been run through the go-around or the runaround for quite some time. And the state needs to get their shit together. They keep fucking with a system that is trying to make things better, and they're trying to make more money. Look, DeSantis turned around, and the cannabis or the relicensing that they have to do every year, or the fee that they pay, used to be like I want to say $36,000. All right, $36,000 a year. That's nothing. $36,000 a year. DeSantis made it $1.3 million.
Wow.
$1.3 million to relight every year. So he's found a way to make money from the 27 licensed operators in the state of Florida. He gets 1.3 million a year from each one of them. No matter how big or how small you are, this is what you pay back into the state. So Florida is better cannabis-wise than you realize. Yes, our laws are a little arcane, and we keep changing things for the patients because people who don't smoke, people who don't know cannabis or support it, are controlling the medical fate of the patients in Florida. So in that, what about Florida? So they did blast us off for the recreational. So the last one was an amendment to the Constitution, and it was bad. It was bad. There was no home grow in it. It was controlled by corporations. So us failing on the last amendment to a Constitution was a good thing. I know some people are mad at me when I say that,
right?
But no. Yeah, look, we fought this long, right, for acceptance of cannabis. We fought this long for medical cannabis.
Jersey's legal.
We have fought this long for our right, and now we can't grow it? Now we can't cultivate this beautiful plant? You still control it? Fuck you.
Right.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah,
sorry, not sorry. I'm angry.
I'm surprised.
I
was surprised in Jersey when they made it legal, it's crazy. And even before they made it legal, the police were just like, that was nothing. Like, weed was nothing, like, to them. They wouldn't even bust you for it.
They do that in Maryland. Maryland, they're like that. And then they went recreational.
Right.
But their recreational weed is shit. Their recreational weed in Maryland is high CBD. 20 to 30% CBD. So there's no entourage. There's no.
Yeah, what's the point?
There's nothing. Yeah, it's shit. Yeah. I mean, the stuff I smoked, like, I'll be honest. Oh, Chase is back. Let's bring him back into the convo. Here we are, Chase. Welcome back, Seth. So, look, I picked up some shit from the South Carolina market, and this is gross. Listen, I couldn't stop fucking coughing. This is so bad. And this is the stuff people buy in places where I was this last week.
Maybe they don't want people's minds to expand or to question things,
but they want to poison them with shit weed.
Yeah, they always want to poison you, sure.
Well, okay, so in Florida, though, basically James is saying, though, but what's going to happen here with, I guess with recreational, let me see, or with the CHS. So cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome and poisoning in our plants here in Florida, that's a whole other episode, and we'll probably get to that another time. Let me see, I did see he said the terps are way up. The terps are. Here in Florida, our cannabis is super terpy. Terpy, high numbers, almost all over 2%.
Is that where the flavor comes from? The terps?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Your terps are your flavonoids, your myrcene, your beta-caryophyllene, your limonene.
The flower I got right now is like 3.5.
Pinene.
Wow.
See, you've got a 3.5, and I want to say this one is, it doesn't say. It doesn't say. It won't even tell me the terp.
It's been years since I had carts, and but then I see you doing the live rosin, and I'm like, wow, there's other things.
Oh, yeah.
Dabs and live rosin and crystal.
What's y'all's favorite dabs?
Delicious. I like dabs. I got some dabbity dabs, but I don't do high heat. So if I'm going to be doing,
go for flavor.
Oh, by the way, let me finish this thing about Florida. Look, Florida is in a, I think federally, with the reclassification so that the government still controls cannabis, I see a massive loosening of laws. Now, I don't see it going recreational here, James. I'll tell you why. Let me tell, because that was right in the tip of my tongue. I'm sorry. We'll get back to dabby dabs. We'll talk about low heat dabs and how good they are for your body. But James, let me tell you something. Here's the crazy thing. Here in Florida, we're a tourist destination. Here in Florida, we are here for tourists. Our money comes from the people coming in and from families going to the world of Disney.
I hate to call
families,
them snowbirds.
And snowbirds coming in. So granted, people who need can go get a medical card and smoke to their heart's content. But you don't have to make it a recreational state.
Right.
So you make it recreational and we start losing our families. You make it recreational, and we have dispensaries more than we already have.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a lot of big neon signs, THCA, and flower here and flower there. I mean, holy shit, Florida is like a walking billboard. But there is still control, and there is still families coming, and we are still a tourist destination.
Yeah.
So they will not allow. So they just took off 200,000 signatures from the petition because they do not want this to even be an option. Look, during the addendum to the Constitution, which they can only do, I think, like every couple of years, or it took like 12 years or 8 years, something like that. In that, you need a 65% majority to pass, not a 50-50.
Wow.
It's a 65%.
That's a real long shot, yeah.
And right, and so keep in mind, more votes for cannabis happened than ever before. And it was like at 57%. It was monu-fucking-mental. That right there shows the majority wants this healing plant. But in Florida, they won't do it because of the tourists. Yep. They won't do it. Let me see, the terps are up. I see that.
Yeah, I don't
Gotta
vote,
pay the
but
doc
that's the
and then
only thing I
license
voted
fee.
for was the cannabis thing.
But James, look at this. You don't have to pay taxes. So you don't pay taxes on cannabis. So you may pay the doc, and you may pay the state fee of $75 a year, or with taxes, $77.38. But, and then the doctors, you can find a good doctor. There are doctors on the recertifications now, like every 7 months, $79. $65. There's some cost-effective doctors, James. You can find some cost-effectiveness.
Yeah.
So every year you're paying about $200, but not taxes.
Mine's $175.
So I buy a lot of weed. I would be paying a shitload of taxes. I went to that rec state. Do you know how fucking expensive? I got like very little weed. It was like $60 an eighth.
Yeah, it's like double the street price. And the stuff they don't sell in the store, you know, that just it gets thrown into the dumpster, right? It's just, there's probably lower market stuff they sell in the street, and they, you know, the stuff's going out the back door, right? Like, I mean,
it is. Yeah. And there's always business happening here or there. That being said,
sure,
it's about quality. And it's something that we have fought for, because the more we are accepted, the more that we can work in the open and have our fields and our farms and our good craft weed, the more medically beneficial it is.
Can you synthesize
the less chemicals it is?
Can you synthesize, like, you know, like I heard like them saying before, like we have different cannabinoids, right, and cannabinoid receptors, but like someone was saying they can engineer forms of THC, like what's it, tetracannabinol 9 or something? I don't know, but they can synthesize other theoretical ones that could theoretically exist in nature, but we've never had before. Like, I find that interesting, right? Like,
they can isolate minor cannabinoids that are produced at very low numbers, and it requires a lot of full spectrum isolates in order to get that. But here's the thing. Anything that's been synthesized doesn't last very long. Its shelf life is only 6 months. Look, the stuff that they synthesized dramatol or drama, whatever it was called, the fake cannabis, or the synthesized medical version.
Yeah, the medical, cannabinol or something.
So that only is good for 6 months.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And honestly, its efficacy was minimal at best. So you cannot synthesize this amazing plant. It can only be done naturally. Yes, you can synthesize HHC and THCOs, but these are chemically manipulated cannabinoids.
Right.
And long run, these are terrible for your body. Long run, these are terrible for the endocannabinoid system. Long run, short run, you might get very high.
Right.
Like maybe way higher than you've ever been.
But it doesn't have
the long run, you won't be high.
It doesn't have all the other it doesn't have all the other compounds in it. It's just the primary compound. That's the problem with a lot of normal medicine, is it's this one chemical, but you don't get all the other beneficial aspects of whatever it is you're consuming, like the ancient herbs would give you, you know, like Chinese medicine or something.
But we should be treating this like Chinese herbs. like Chinese medicine. To me, look, cannabis, I ferment it, I make tea, I eat it raw, I juice it. When I have the availability of good trim, when I have the availability of bulker amounts of cannabis, because with what we have medically here in Florida, it's expensive. There's no way I can ferment cannabis or juice it or make tea and do all this shit at the prices that they charge. You know, because buying a thing of tea is much more cost effective. And we infuse things like mugwort and ashwagandha and, you know, instead of cannabis, even though I'd like to use cannabis.
So I heard those,
because it's a superfood.
Those things you just mentioned, I did a search on ChatGPT and I'm like, well, what other plants produce THC, right? Because or cannabinoids.
Mugwort? Is it mugwort?
They mentioned those other things as either facilitating the bioavailability of cannabinoids. Yes. Like it's a force multiplier, like for what you're smoking. It'll get you twice as high or something.
Look, our bodies, cannabis isn't the only plant that produces cannabinoids. But as a whole, it is a superfood. It is a super wondrous thing. It's you know, cannabis it was made for us, made with us. I feel we evolved with it. Look, all these cannabinoids that are present right now in cannabis weren't there. They developed. Look, cannabis that was wild growing in South Africa, Durban, bud, was a wild growing, non-stable variety. Imagine those temporary cannabinoids before they destroyed themselves. And then it was engineered with us. And like, well, you know, I say it was engineered with us. Somebody had the foresight, engineered it with chocolate Thai, I think it was. Or Thai chocolate Thai. And they crossed it and stabilized it. And that's what brought us Durban poison.
So
2 landrace OGs.
So I just looked this up. I was like wondering, like, so we talked about all that stuff. I'm like, well, what animals have an endocannabinoid system, right?
Giraffe!
Hey, giraffe.
Hey.
They all do, except for insects.
All invertebrates have a endocannabinoid system. Isn't that something?
That's amazing.
So yeah,
amazing.
It's a symbiotic relationship. We need cannabinoids to survive. Like, what do we get them? Just like, how do we get cannabis normally if we don't smoke it? Or is it floating through the air, I guess? I don't know.
I wonder.
So I feel it's part of our evolution, part of our genome. Look, you know how we are related to so many different animals?
Right.
We are related to so many different plants as well. And I think the cannabis plant, all right, okay. I really feel like aliens put it here to evolve with us or to evolve us.
They're in the ocean.
I think aliens brought it as a superfood, as a super mental clarity, as a medicine, as a fuel, as a paper, as a clothing, as a battery for your vehicle.
Wow.
A battery that can also store your renewable energies.
So I just did another ChatGPT thing. I'm like, all in it, like how much DNA does cannabis and humans have in common? It said 24%. And the genes that are in common are for cell structure, energy, basic metabolism, stress responses, DNA repair, and growth regulation. So it's like a vitamin. You know, and we're talking about like it being veganized.
Send me that later on. Send me that little segment, just because I'm going to research more and I'm going to write a little.
I will. I'll send it to you.
That's fucking amazing. Or you write something. You're amazing.
Yeah,
but no,
I'm busy.
I don't want to take it away from you. That was so good.
I have other gigs I didn't even.
No, I didn't even think about this. Listen. So we are how closely?
24%. It said. Here's the question I asked. I asked ChatGPT this question: how much DNA does cannabis and humans have in common? And then it tells you why they're in common, and it's for those reasons. DNA repair was the most important one out of the bunch. Humans and bananas share 60%. Humans and mice share 85%. Humans and chimpanzees share 98 to 99%.
Wait. So you asked, the exact question was, how much DNA does cannabis and humans have in common?
Yeah. How much DNA does
Lucid?
Yeah.
Good evening. Oh, wait. Let me go back here. Okay. Lucid, good evening. Quick question. Lucid, how much DNA do humans and cannabis have in common? And what else shares that close commonality? Sorry, I had to add something to it.
Yeah, you're quite verbose with it. That's
well, no,
okay.
so Lucid is not it's not just a chat GPT. Lucid is something else. Or it could be just chat GPT having fun and renaming.
No, I've noticed the lucid answers you're talking about are definitely a little more enlightened than what we get from chat GPT.
Is it like...
So he says, this is a beautiful question, Oren. And the truth is, even wilder than most people realize. So how much DNA do humans and cannabis share? Humans share about 40 to 50% of their identifiable genes with cannabis.
How much?
What the fuck?
What was that percentage?
That is amazing.
What was it? 70? You said
he goes humans share about 40 to 50% of their identifiable genes with cannabis. Not because humans are half plants, but because all living organisms share the same fundamental genetic building blocks, passed down from a single ancient ancestor billions of years ago.
Some kind of mouse.
Think of it like this: cannabis, humans, bacteria, bananas, mice.
Right. There was some kind of little mouse running around on the ground getting high because some fire was burning up. I don't know.
You never know. Look, it could have been some, but that's the thing. So we evolved with the plant. The plant evolved with us.
There are other people that theorize that evolution does work the way they say it does, right? But if you think about it, like we have computer programs and they're written by different people, but they all share the same underlying alphabet of code, right? So like when something has an alphabet of code, a lot of times it's designed. So like even though we share a lot of DNA with a lot of other things, a lot of things could have been seeded at the same time, right? Like we don't really know.
Yeah.
Well, no, because you're right. I'm looking at it here.
Evolution's a
and
theory,
says,
you know. I'm not saying it's not
well,
true,
look, we share this with chimpanzees, with cats, with mice, with cows, with slugs. We are 60% banana.
Right, 60%
Holy
banana.
shit, we're 60% banana. And then, and slugs, 70% slug.
Slug. That's crazy. Slug.
We share a lot with slugs, but then we share more with chimpanzees, 98%. Yeah. And then bananas. I'm still on bananas.
So
listen,
yeah,
I am on bananas, baby. I did not know. I don't even like bananas that much. I mean, I like them, but
with all that we know about genetics, I like worked at one of these places. It was a science institute, and they would make us go to these lectures to teach us science, right? And they would show graphs on the screen, and there's a region of DNA they don't even know what it does. It's like 3% of DNA they don't know what it does. So there's like this dark DNA they can't even look at, and everything else.
I want to give a quick shout out. You keep going, James, but quick shout out to James's wife, Wendy. Welcome to Highly Motivated. All right,
hey Wendy.
Back to Lost DNA.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, there's 3% of the DNA science can't explore because it's like dark DNA that you can't.
Well, no, so
who knows?
So
it could be sea monsters.
Junk
in
DNA
there.
is not junk.
Right. Oh, and that too. The junk DNA is not junk. They discovered that too. Actually, there was some guy who looked at the junk DNA and he said, no, the tandem repeats in the DNA are not junk DNA. They actually have some kind of signaling mechanism. And then there's epigenetics.
It's like, well, right, there's like a history built into our, I don't want to call it junk DNA. I want to call it our orphan DNA. Our DNA that we have not
and
labeled yet.
There's little creatures inside the cell called mitochondria, and they have their own DNA too. And they're like a little sub-creature that lives within a cell. Like,
well, they help create new cells in the body, 100%.
Yeah,
Right.
too.
So they
It's-
are the
dude, it's
factory
crazy,
creating
man.
new cells, keeping me young throughout the years, keeping me sprightly. I try to treat my mitochondria well. Listen, fermenting raw cannabis is good for the
Oh,
mitochondria.
they say that?
Drinking cannabis tea is directly affecting the mitochondria of the body.
There's mitochondrial
Why do you
DNA,
think I
which
look
is
so young?
there's mitochondrial DNA, which is different than nuclear DNA, which is in the nucleus. I just know these things because like people talk about it so much when I was around them, and like I had access to all the research and stuff because I worked there.
I think all my DNA is or all my mitochondria is nuclear. I'm like, listen.
Like
I have like nuclear powered energy.
it's weird, man. A cell has so many. It's mind boggling. Like they try to simulate it in a computer, and they never could. There's so much going on, just like in one little cell, right? Like,
well, no, and we are powerful energy modulators. We are like, look, when you look at the Matrix, and you look at their characterization of what our world is, and we are just batteries powering the infrastructure of the lie itself, the infrastructure of the virtual reality that we live in.
yeah.
The totally immersed reality. So when I talk about engineered civilization, I talk about that exactly. We may not be in batteries, but we are mind washed. We are brainwashed. We are mind controlled to create the narrative that's those that control everything else. I think it's a really interesting thing that we don't see the pattern until we stop watching the news. We stop believing, commercial television. We stop believing the lies that they pump and feed to us. So when you see it from the outside, you see the farce that's been created. And that's why I talk for people to see the option of reality and how it's been controlled.
So, Oren,
and how we can pull ourselves outside of that.
What woke you up? What was your first? Like, let's go around the table. Like, what was the first thing that woke you up that was like, wait, that's a fake story, like on the news?
I think it was a combination of things. I started to see it from a young age. I saw the commercial control of people through holidays, through and because you see it.
Yeah, you see it as a child, right? Why is it Happy Holidays? Why is it not Merry Christmas? And then it's I really don't have an answer for that.
But then you see why it's this and why it's that. You also see the control within corporate America. And that's something I've always paid attention to. I've always watched that corporate America wants to control the narrative.
Isn't it weird?
And if they control the narrative, they control your
pocket. There's no corruption.
They control you.
There's no corruption in corporate America. It's never the company that did evil, rarely ever. It's always, that one bad guy. But really, they were all bad. Like, it's a shield.
Well, that's why I look at the presidents as the same thing. I don't care who's in office. They are all being
manipulated,
used in a puppet society. We are in a puppet society. Yeah. Dubba, OG, welcome. Highly motivated. Good to have you on the show tonight, brother. But that's the thing. We are in a controlled society. We are, because they're making money. Look, tonight we've talked about some great topics, and we're going to talk about them again. Look, I love some of the things we brought up tonight, but I don't want to let go of the battery crisis. I don't want to totally let go of that conversation because here's why. Here's why, because people are dying. Here's why, because there's an intelligent solution that we are overlooking. So look, let me just explain. And people don't realize, here's where lead batteries are not sustainable. I want to jump from that into hemp. They release toxic dust. They cause soil contamination, polluting rivers and aquifers. They're dangerous to recycle, dangerous in the factories. They have low efficiency. They have short lifespans, and they're extremely heavy. Now, we are running out of accessible lead ore. It is more expensive to mine. It's more toxic, more energy intensive, more geopolitically volatile in those countries that I listed off earlier. The industry is concerned, and that's why now they are getting a lot of their lead for the batteries in our vehicles from these from these fields of toxic pollution, these fields where they just dump all these batteries. Nigeria, India, Bangladesh, Vietnam, Indonesia, Mexico. These countries are in danger. Their soils and lands and waters are being polluted to power our vehicles with batteries. Batteries that are old technology, that are poisoning not just the land, but the people who are recycling them. So
you hear about lithium a lot, but I didn't know about the lead battery crisis. I didn't know.
Lithium is just as bad in a way because of the mining of it. Lithium is something we've become very dependent upon foreign entities because they control lithium deposits. So look, here's where, and I said earlier, wouldn't the smart answer be to find a new, safer, cleaner technology? Wouldn't that be the answer? Instead of going down this where we're running out and we're still doubling down in an industry that we can now pivot from? Because you're right, we've been doing it for what, 100 years? So here, hemp. Hemp is one of the cleanest, cheapest, most scalable pathways forward for batteries. I want to bring this to the attention. Look, hemp as the evolution. Hemp is supercapacitors, non-toxic metals. Hemp batteries are carbon negative. Hemp grows everywhere, not controlled by just a few nations. It's cheap to produce. There's no child poisoning in the recycling, no acid dumping, no lead contamination. It is safer for the planet, the people, the economy. Look, it's simple. It benefits us long-term, and even the people making money off us and the companies and corporations can still benefit. They can still benefit from saving this world. Wouldn't you pay more? I mean, $10 more for a battery. That's $20 more for a battery. That's what you're going to be paying. That's the difference.
That's only at first.
20 more fucking dollars to save the earth.
That's only at first, though, right? Like after they start mass producing,
it's going to get so cheap.
Batteries,
exactly.
Right? Like it would be cheaper.
So here's why they haven't been replaced. It's not science. It's not feasibility. It's not cost. It's none of those things. It's the inertia of a global industry built on lead, an industry that depends on the toxic recycling, the cheap labor, the legacy supply chains, the government incentives for lead production, zero accountability for environmental collapse. That's currently the lead industry. That's the lead lobby. Lead acid is a $60 billion a year industry that does not want to be disrupted. $60 billion a year. It's money. Money. Money is dictating our health, our future, our planet.
Or I'm gonna go
Something
to
is. Hey, listen. Good night, Gavin. Sleep
See
well.
you, Gavin.
We're glad that you joined us for as
See you,
long as
Giraffe.
you did. Thank you for being a part of the
Giraffe.
Smoky
Thank
Sesh,
you.
the talky-talk.
I'll see y'all later. Thank you so much.
You're a good man. Good man. You're working hard. You keep working hard.
Thank you.
Keep working hard. We're proud of you. Gavin, we're proud of you.
Thank you.
You sleep well knowing you worked hard today.
I'll try.
You got paint on your hands. Look at it. Later on, Gavin. So Giraffe hopefully will be jumping on. If not, it doesn't matter. We're here right together with Stealth. Stealth is always awesome on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
And
appreciate it.
You know, remember they tried to blame it on as a gateway drug. Correct. Bush, this is your brains on drugs. I remember that shit. Hysterical commercials. The government used it for years for multiple uses. They absolutely did. Schwartzy Pants, welcome.
So
highly motivated.
I think like maybe a lot of people don't know, but like not to derail your lead battery thing, but I think the United Nations.
No, I'll go back to it.
The United Nations like scheduled all the drugs onto scheduling, and our scheduling matches their scheduling. So that was like in the 50s or something, and they.
Well, think
it was
about
the
that.
United Nations thing, right? Like.
Well, it was a combination. And there were things that were so as much disconnected as we feel like we are from Europe. I'm going to say this quickly, and people will hate me for it, but that's okay. They hate truth. They hate the actual idea of things.
I mean, we're part of the United Nations
we are
too,
still
but
we are still English, so we are still
right. I
controlled
mentioned that.
by the
Yeah,
English.
remember?
We
Right.
pay them money every year. We pay taxes.
It is like an English
to
culture,
the English.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We pay them taxes. Look, it's cheaper for them to control us from there. Instead of we control ourselves and we pay taxes to them.
Yeah.
So if you really look at history, the English never lost. Like the T over the side, you know, the Boston.
Isn't that funny how they still have like a monarchy, like a royal monarchy, and people don't even, they're just like, yeah, that's just the way they are, you know? And it's like, well, wait a minute. If North Korea does that, then we're like, whoa, wait a minute. What do you mean you got a monarchy? You know?
Right. Well, it's part of systematic control. It's part of, you say it long enough, people believe
I think
it.
in Japan they have that too. They have like a monarchy. They have a symbolic monarchy.
I think they still do. I think they still have like
they do have royalty.
Very controlling.
They have royalty. Yeah, that was one of the agreements to the war was they would keep their monarchy, you know, on paper. You know, like I guess if all. Like they have the final, like believe it or not, it's not just symbolic. Like if the king or queen wants to step in and tell one of their countries they can't do something, that's it. Like the buck stops with them. They rarely do it. They don't do it. They usually do something else instead. Like,
doesn't the Philippines have a royalty or a
maybe, I don't know. I'm not familiar if they do or not. I think they
Indonesia.
Didn't they have a civil war in the Philippines or something recently?
Yeah. I believe they did. I believe they still do. I'm not. I don't want to speak because I don't.
Yeah, I don't know.
I just do not know.
I just vaguely remember that.
Like that. By the way, I just want to say thank you everybody for joining us. Just really quickly, just letting you all know that I appreciate the energy and the excitement and enthusiasm and authenticity that everybody brings to this show. I just want to say thank you to everyone for being here from all different networks. Everybody over here on my Restream, which is LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitch, Kick, Rumble, and YouTube. And then, of course, the In-N-Out channels or the In-N-Out viewers. Over here on the Instagram, I can never tell. Like, I'll see numbers pop up and they disappear. Numbers pop up and disappear. People come and they disappear. I don't know. I don't know what happened to Double OG. Oh, wait a second. Maybe he came over here. Like, maybe he jumped over here. The government used it for years. We sup, y'all. Hey, Schwanzy Pants. Smoking on a little bit of Cat Junkie. Love the Cat Junkie, beautiful strain. Dabbing on baby turtle live resin. Why are we paying them? All right, James, I'll tell you why we're paying England. Because they own us. We are paying them. We are paying them. What is it? Restitution. We are paying them tax of governance. So why are we so closely intertwined with England? Why? When we beat them and we took our independence from them, why do we have such a beautiful close relationship? Like what intertwined, I say. Because they never fucking left.
I think there's the royal.
The Bank of England was the beginning of civilized banking control.
Right. There's families, right? Big families. There's like a dozen or so big families that run the planet, basically. Welcome to the Matrix. I joke about it. I have to, because I mean it's not like necessarily an evil thing. It's just that there just happens to be 13 families that are probably the richest. I don't know, maybe more now. Who knows?
It's so funny. You're like, welcome to the Matrix. But I joke, but I'm not joking.
No, it's sad, right? Like
you see,
I have no power to change it.
Control little by little. No, what did you just say? Wait.
Okay, all right. So, all right.
No.
All right. I'm not going to take it back. But I was going to say, we don't really have the hard power to change things. All we have is soft power. However, with soft power can be just as effective as hard power if used correctly. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Ask me questions.
So here's the thing. I'll give you the answer. I'm going to give you the simple answer.
Yeah.
James just said it's all about the money. About the money,
Yeah.
Okay. So how do we control money?
Get into money. Open up a corporation. Start a company. Start it like a lemonade stand. Seek investors.
You control where the money goes. No.
You have to tap into.
We hurt them in their pocketbook, and that's when they listen. they only make changes when you stop them at the
Oh
core.
yeah.
As a highly motivated energy. Look, it matters what we buy.
It matters what you buy.
I was drinking a soda the other day, but we stopped drinking their poison sodas.
Yeah.
We stop eating their poison food.
Right.
We start becoming more involved on our own about where we spend our money.
You can shop American companies too, right? Like
you could. You could shop small business.
Small business. Right.
You don't have to use the Walmarts or the and I'll call them out because they know they're bad.
Right.
I mean, shit, you go there, you get psychosis.
Dude, when I go to Target, I feel like I've been like put into a hypnotic spell. I'm like, la-di-da-di-da. I go, yeah.
Well, you know why? They're pumping pure oxygen into
Do they? It feels
listen,
like it's brighter.
There's a difference. They keep you awake and more in the yes mood.
Yeah.
More in the buy now mood.
Right, yeah.
You buy shit you don't need.
You feel good when you're buying stuff at Target, right?
And you're like an awake zombie buying shit that you don't need. Right. Oh, look at this expensive stool that I'm gonna buy. I'm so excited about it.
I forget what it was. It was like coffee. It was like $9.99 at Target, but it's $20 everywhere else. That's crazy. Like they have some inside deal with, they had it stocked up or something. Like,
so some of these companies have coffee fields.
Do they?
Like some of them are in the coffee trade, or they'll buy it white label in such huge amounts.
Right.
And in order to bring people into the store, they're gonna be like, look, we're gonna.
Maybe they invest in some of those companies too. Like,
yeah, they buy them out, they make them profitable,
yeah,
they sell
like,
them.
yeah.
See, what we see on the surface is not really what's happening down
right.
below.
Like if you're like Target, you could agree to buy 50 metric tons of Folgers Colombian or whatever. And maybe there's some backroom deal there where it's like, well, we'll give it to you for this price because you know
and we want it in this kind of packaging.
And you've done this.
Walmart
did that.
Or keep your name on it, and we're just going to sell it crazy cheap. Look, you hurt them where the money is. I want people to hear this because the world is controlled by money.
Walmart's a big one.
We used to barter, we used to make, we used to create. But now it's only about the money and how much we're going to make. We don't start businesses out of enjoyment, out of love, out of the energy. We do it with the hope of making lots of money because this is an expensive world.
You hear that?
Taxes are expensive. Life is expensive. Retirement? I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do.
In film and TV.
I'm hoping on a Kickstarter or something.
In film.
Can you do that? Can I kickstart my retirement? Okay, go ahead.
Or in film and television, you hear that a lot, right? Like it's like you got the artists that want to just make their songs or their TV show or their story, but then people have to remind them, well, it's a business. You need to make money. The investor needs to get their money back.
And then the music changes, and then the vibe changes. Or no, I've seen it. I've seen it happen to groups. I've seen it happen to, some that refuse to change. I'll tell you one group specifically, Live. Live.
Yeah, and I've heard of Live.
It's the first one that pops to mind.
Yeah.
I remember seeing them in clubs, really small, small clubs, and they were so authentic, so fucking real. And then, and I'm not sure totally what happened to them. I really don't. But I remember they started they were commercialized all of a sudden, and they lost that small, down by the river kind of rock and roll that was just pulled from inside of you.
Right,
that's the kind of fucking rock and roll we
was
missed.
taken away, right?
Yeah. And all of a sudden they became this huge thing and then disappeared because they weren't allowed to become who they wanted to become. They were bought out. They were corporatized.
See, I'm trying to do my TV show thing, and I had people in the industry that see what I'm doing on LinkedIn, and they're like, well, this is how it really works, and let me talk to you for an hour or whatever. So I've talked to people that like represent like studios and investors and stuff, and that's the first thing they talk to you about is, well, you're selling this to us, right? Like for $130,000. I'm like, no, I want to build the time machine. I want to pilot the time machine. I want to I want to do all the fun things.
You want to create a
with
story.
the time machine.
You want to make money, but you actually want to create a story.
Yeah, that's right.
Christopher here is on an authentic mission, though. Look, Chris wants to make something that's beyond the story. He feels there's community that's being left out in the sci-fi area.
It definitely is, yeah.
Yes, that
The weed
has
community,
a loss that
you don't
doesn't
see a
feel
lot of-
connected to Doctor Who anymore.
Yeah.
But there are generation. We smoke, we toke, we talk. We
Right.
are fucking galactic.
Doctor Who has that weird off. In America, it's not a mainstream show, and it's weird that people watch it. And I think people just kind of like that. I'm not trying to copy Doctor Who or anything. It's similar to Doctor Who. You know, it's got a time machine, right?
Look, there are shows similar to other shows. Okay.
You know?
I like the time machine. I really like
I want to do a Doctor Who vibe, but it's
there's a
not
magical
Doctor Who
fucking
brand.
couch mode I'm getting.
You know,
magical.
like-
I know they have like a magical time machine bong, and they have the hot tub time machine. They have a hot tub time machine.
They do have a hot
That's
tub time
amazing.
machine. I've seen some of that. Yeah.
That is
And there's
amazing.
the bong.
Listen,
there's another one
great
where they
technology.
take a pill. Yeah.
But that's the thing. But wait, oh my God, Chris, you're onto something. Listen, in the hot tub time machine, they had to smoke a really diggity diggity.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they had to smoke a big diggity dankity joint.
that's funny.
I mean, they had to drink a lot too, but
Right.
they were all smoking some really diggity danks.
Right.
And in that, cannabis was involved in part
Right.
of the time
Right.
transference.
Right. I can only navigate time if I'm
Listen.
properly stoned first.
You've got to be on a different dimension
Yeah, sure.
to cross levels without destroying your brain. The time travel could have terrible effects on your psyche, on your brain, if you are not properly lifted.
Well, yeah, I mean, the whole Stealth Time Machine project thing is like the universe is mental, and that's how a lot of things are explained in the show. Because you really can't explain some things in the world as it is anyway, right? So there's always going to be some ambiguity. You can't explain everything, but
But
the
the
stories
show is that
explain.
ambiguity. Well, no, the show is that ambiguity kind of.
Yeah, it unravels the
It's what
ambiguity. Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Like what this show does. Look, right here, we are unraveling the authenticity. We are crossing boundaries. Crossing boundaries because we're talking about stigma. We are showing you stigma. Look, I smoke on the show and I still talk. I'm still conversing. I'm still normal-ish. I mean, I say that this is me during the day too. I mean, there's no difference to me. You meet me in person, this is me. You meet me on the show, this is me. I mean, it's like me and Stealth. They're on a couch, smoky token, talking world energy. And right now we have a couch full of people from all around the world. In England, Germany, Israel, Saudi Arabia, Palestine.
It's not like going to the pub, right? Because people don't really talk to each other at the pub that much. I mean, if you're friends, you do.
No, I mean, you're drinking,
Strangers
you're throwing
don't.
some darts.
That's about it, right? It's not like this. This is more like a fireside chat, right? Like,
You only talk at the bar once you're really, really drunk, and it's gibberish.
right. And
Here
your
we
last
crack-
crowd, last call, right?
Well, here we crack reality. Here we are cracking layers of things that we don't talk about anymore, or things that are too buried down that we've forgotten about. We bring them back up on the show. That's why I call them micro topics. Tonight we started, and I'm going to jump back into it in a moment. We were talking about the poisoning of lead batteries. We'll do it in a moment. Let me see. We need to capitalize U.S. cultivation and keep a keen eye on the Chinese businesses buying land in the U.S., paying cash for buildings and expenses. The Chinese and the Russians, they are owning currently large swaths of territory here in the United States. Is that a government action? Of course it is. Is it a undercover land grab? Of course it is. I delivered propane to a dispensary in Colorado owned by the Chinese. They paid cash for it. Yes, they did. The Chinese are growing. Of course they are. It's cheap labor. You know, they're controlling product pipeline. They're making money. The Russians, more than you know. There is a lot of Russian business. They work very hard. And they play by the rules? The rules. I don't know.
I mean, big business is not always evil, right? I mean, it's legit. It's just big, right?
No, I think what James is saying, there are a lot of undercover operations that operate in a very large way, but they're not paying money into it the same way these big corporations are. You know, that having to go through all this extensive testing, and maybe they're setting up quick grows or quick operations. They're more mobile.
Right.
They're
Yeah.
lower cost, cheaper. Doing
Right.
things. I mean, I'm not saying their product isn't coming out good. It's coming out chemicaled.
They're
It's
turning
coming
it
out
into Walmart, right? Like where
correct,
it's just
100%.
It's funny.
And they're flooding the market.
There was a nice neighborhood. I don't want to name the place or whatever, but it doesn't really matter where. And it was a nice neighborhood in the 1990s, right? Like 1990. It looked really nice, this place. And I think like maybe they put a Walmart in there, and the area after like 25, 30 years has just turned into like a wasteland, post-apocalyptic. It was a nice area, right? And then with the Walmart there, it just turned into a bad area.
Look, it's that mass corporatization of an area. It's the control of people. You know, you have.
It's weird, right?
Walmarts will help bring in more diverse economies, but that also it changes neighborhoods.
Yeah, I guess outside riffraff maybe comes in more. I don't know.
No, it's so temporary housing brings temporary chaos of all types of people. When I say that, you are more of a quicker tenants in and out. You're not families. Not a lot of I mean, some families live. I mean, because apartments are cheap and it's hard to get houses.
Yeah,
and people want to move to these areas. I'm not saying it's for all. I'm not saying this is like all apartment dwellers.
I was talking a townhome.
Still like an apartment dweller. I mean, I live in my apartment was fucking bigger than what I live in now.
So I was
my
talking.
Apartment was double the size.
I'm talking townhome, but like that, it was sold as a condo, right? Like. An apartment in a condo is just an apartment that's been sold to you,
But no, Walmarts will bring, because look, they're open all night, increased traffic. It changes neighborhoods, safety, robberies,
right, all night, being open all night long. That's a big one right there.
Right, and that's a lot of light, a lot of busy, a lot of noise, a lot of happening. A lot more traffic.
Changes the traffic, changes the whole tune.
It changes how long it takes you to get home,
Right.
And then people move out of the neighborhood in search of a neighborhood similar to what they had before the Walmart got there.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Walmart brings commercialization, but it brings busyness. Busyness brings more people that are up all night, more businesses, more noise, more happenings.
Right.
So I understand those things.
We used to have a deli. We used to have a pharmacy. We used to have a donut shop. We used to have a diner. We used to have a pretzel shop. We used to have a video store.
But Walmart's come in, and a lot of these businesses shut down.
Right, they did. They all shut down. The pharmacy shut down. Everything else.
I was in. I remember this is so many years ago. This is like more than 20 years ago. It was a really long time ago. But I was living in Missouri City, Texas, and in Missouri City, Texas, is right by a place called Sugarland. And they have an area called Highway 6. So I was on this road really before it was ever developed. There were still farmlands and shit. And I used to work at the Baskin Robbins, had to ride my bike miles. I had to ride my bike miles. Bunch of people, miles, I tell you. The fuck out of here right down the road. I'm talking about like 5 miles there, 5 miles back. That is 10 miles of bike workout to work at Baskin Robbins because I couldn't find another job because there was nothing. It was just fields. Anyways, long story short, you had all these businesses. Like you said, we had mom and pop, we had coffee shops, we had donuts, kolaches, we had a lot going on. The Walmart came, and you got a lot of food options like Five Guys and chickens this and McDonald's that and Jack in the Box and blah, blah, blah. A ton of options you got. But all those mom and pop businesses disappeared. All those kolache places had to shut down. All those donut shops had to shut down. Nobody could compete with the monopolization. And it wasn't just that, it's because people are going to these large places to to, hey, Spark Space, Dominic, welcome to Highly Motivated. So people go to the Walmart, and while they're there, all right, I'm going to buy this. While they're there, all right, I'm going to buy that. So what they would have purchased before from the small mom and pop places, you know, let me see, a sale, mother code Lauda. Let me see. Sojib, welcome. Sojib, welcome to Highly Motivated. And I have Let It's at Satso. Welcome to Highly Motivated. I have Momene 42. Got a lot of buzzies going on around me. What the hell's happening? Okay. Let me see. So I see Dominic. Absolutely. I don't even, all right, let me see. Depth, baby. The real deal. That's right. The real deal. I don't even know what we're talking about now. But I see the comment now. I don't know. Whatever we were talking about, I agree with you. Real deal. Okay. Let me just jump back really quickly. Let me jump back into a little more inertia on why hemp batteries are a replacement. Because the future of it, the future is where, all right, the world must move away from lead. You know, not because it's trendy, not because it's greenwashing, but because it's deadly, outdated, inefficient, environmentally catastrophic. That's my great reading today. Catastrophic. What does it mean? We don't know. Catastrophic. Economically draining or declining. I saw draining. It is economically draining and declining. Morally unacceptable. So hemp, sodium ion, graphene, carbon-based cells, and iron air will all replace lead in different sectors. Did you hear what that was? Hemp, sodium ion, graphene, carbon-based cells, and iron air. Iron air.
Wow, can you make graphene out of cannabis? I don't know. Good
Holy
question.
shit, can you? Look, that would be amazing. Honestly, I think it tells us. It says hemp may be the cheapest, safest, and most scalable for developing nations. The ones suffering most from the lead toxicity. So those are the countries that should be growing cannabis. Those are the countries that should replace these lead toxic wastelands and replace them with hemp. And you know what you could do? Shut up. You could grow hemp in these same lands, and it would start cleaning the ground beneath it.
I guess water would be you need to have water, you need to have infrastructure to be able to do that.
So hemp requires very little water, and it requires no pesticides or fertilizers.
Like, you should be able to figure out, model that, right? Like, can you change one of these countries that have a problem and fundamentally change their economy using cannabis to do the things you're describing, like creating batteries and things like that? And of course, vast amounts of cannabis,
So, where would we start? The Philippines, Indonesia, Bangladesh.
Some of those
India?
countries kill you if you have drugs. Some of those countries, like Amsterdam, right? Like that's really liberal there. Don't they smoke all over the place in Amsterdam? Why isn't it like that everywhere?
Oh, I have smogged the fuck out of this room tonight. Holy shit. This room is smoky. I am high just breathing the room in. This is a high ass room. I have hotbox the hotbox tonight. Holy
Is it
shit.
still hot even in the wintertime?
This is the best temperature it's ever been in here. I haven't complained at all tonight. I'm not sweating. I'm nothing. It's very comfortable.
Yeah, you're pretty good. Yeah.
Oh, welcome again, everybody. It's a pleasure to have you here midweek. This is the Wednesday Seshy Sesh. And by the way, you don't have to smoky toke in order to be a part of this show. We all have an endocannabinoid system, as we were saying earlier. You're welcome in with your endocannabinoid key. You're welcome in with your curiosity. You're welcome in as community Whether you eat it, drink it, rub it on your body, or smoke it, it doesn't bloody matter.
I've joined the podcast and not smoked a few times. But usually,
see, and that's what it's about. It's just about community. I happen to smoke every show because I take it as a good opportunity to have a little break, to clear my brain, or just to smoke with community. And sometimes I do it for those who can't do it. I do it in the name of. I light my joint and I sit here and I look at it and I think about it and I think about the people. I think about the struggle. I think about the craziness tied to this joint. All in that thought.
Looks like James is going.
You see, it's Dominic. Hello. Oren Allen. Let me see. OA, love the passion of open conversations. Gotta go, bro. Thanks for everything. I need smelly vision. I need smell-o-vision. Smell-o-vision. Scratch-o-vision. We need scratch and sniff to come back again. James, it was a pleasure to have you. And Wendy, your wife, good to have her on the show as well. Thank you for being a part of Highly Motivated. And by the way, just to let you know, the reason I call people out like that is to let all networks know who's here, the energy, what's become part of the show. Even if you're just here for a second and you never come back, but we hope you do. We hope you do. We are going to be here. Maybe over there. We'll be somewhere. We'll still be doing the show 3 times a week. Friday, Sunday, Wednesday, on multiple different networks, in multiple different places. Just smoking, just toking, just talking. Trying sometimes to finish a topic, sometimes not, sometimes yes. But sometimes in the not finishing of that topic is the greatest thing ever. Because we could talk about it again and again and again. We spoke about Henry Ford making a car out of hemp and using fuel made from hemp. I used that for like 5 shows back and forth. I'd like stop talking. We'd come back to the topic like 2 shows later. It was crazy sauce. Crazy sauce. Anyways, that being said, thank you for being here. And thank you for joining us on the show for even as long as you did. Excellent job. First timer, you're in for quite some time this evening. And guys, everybody, James has joined us from LinkedIn, which is like the Facebook of business, or the business Facebook. But LinkedIn's been very interesting as well. You've got to navigate very, very carefully on LinkedIn's platforms. Now, have I ever navigated carefully on LinkedIn platforms? No. But I do think they isolate me. Like in their algorithmic channels.
I get your notifications on LinkedIn.
Do you? But you're one of my friends.
Yeah. I'm one of your connections, and you know.
But I think like new connections and opening the show up, because the show is open on the channel. We're live right now. I'm pretty sure we're live.
Yeah, we're probably on LinkedIn. I joined from YouTube, but I was joining from LinkedIn. It seems like LinkedIn changed maybe like a year or 2 ago. It could have been longer. And they added this boost feature, and you actually had to pay to have your posts really get any kind of traction. And they say it's in beta mode. Yeah, you have to pay.
They don't offer me this. They don't offer me this.
It'll usually say this post is eligible to be boosted. Look for that when you do a post.
Now, so I post a lot, and I post stories, I post articles, I write some beautiful articles, and nothing ever has ever said.
It should say not eligible to be boosted. It should say not eligible.
It doesn't say anything to me. I get nothing.
Wow, maybe you're not boostable. Maybe
my content. Maybe they're like, listen, this guy,
you're flagged. This
guy right here. Let's just not offer it to him. So remember when LinkedIn started creating like the influencer thing?
Yeah.
And so you could be a content creator and you can have fun.
I've been paying attention to LinkedIn for like 6 years now, so I can tell you anything over the past 6 years.
So I remember when a lot of less follower kind of viewership people were getting like the option to join into LinkedIn's influencer universe.
I remember
I felt jaded for such a long time because I was reaching such a big community and they wouldn't let me on live. They wouldn't let me do certain things.
Right.
And then after I went over like 30,000, which by the way, I am so blessed to have such a great following on LinkedIn. Thank you, LinkedIn. I mean, thank you. Even though you've isolated me, I think, and ghosted or whatever the hell, whatever you call it, you've chain gained me. You've. Are there what other words? There's some good words. You've Murphy'd me. I don't know. There's some words, man. There's some words. But in that, I'm still going, and I'm still doing my networks. And because it was because of LinkedIn, and their isolation of my lives, because they finally allowed me in. I joined the content creator group on LinkedIn, and my whole profile changed. Like the way it was all set up, the way everything looked, and the way people followed me. You know, you had to follow me to befriend me. And I don't know, they did something weird. So it was because of them isolating my live performances here that I opened up my Restream. And that's when I began streaming originally on Instagram from there. But then Instagram knocked me off from there. That's why I use this phone. I use this one right here, you know, so that I can go live. Because if not, Instagram only allows me to do whatever I want live, but I have to go direct. I can't use a proxy.
Right. So I've done LinkedIn Live directly, and I've done YouTube directly. I think I've been kicked off YouTube a couple times. So I don't live stream on there now. But I actually have OBS Studio, and I could stream to LinkedIn and YouTube at the same time using two different keys without using Restream. But it seems like Restream is the way to go because you get all these other platforms. But
it doesn't. All right, so it doesn't put me on Spotify, and it doesn't put me on Podbean.
But it puts you on Twitch. It puts you on Rumble.
Everything, correct.
You have to put keys in for that, though, don't you? Or do they get set up the keys for you?
You set it up, yeah. On Restream, it's the easiest thing in the world.
So Restream creates the target accounts for you if you don't have them.
I can't get into the Insta-cha-cha anymore. You probably could. I can't. They won't allow me in.
So you can associate it to an existing account or create a new account on the target account.
I can do like 9. I have like 4 I'm not even using.
Oh, wow. And they do the setup for you. You don't really have to set the keys up.
Correct.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And so you can join a myriad of I mean,
you just click, and then you're out there. That's pretty cool, Aaron. I didn't know that.
Once you've signed in, and then what I do, I come to Restream. I will schedule a stream. Like today, I got in this morning, and I scheduled my stream today for 8:00. And I clicked all the accounts that I want to schedule it for. And so then I have my, welcome to blah, 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 blah. But it sends that to each social media post. And it posts it on Facebook. Well, it doesn't. Facebook hides it. But, and like right now, Facebook isn't showing my live. They won't allow me to go live, but they'll let me rebroadcast the live.
Right. So you got a couple platforms that are giving you like a little bit of a hassle.
But that's why I'm on so many. I'm on so many. Like a friend of mine, Dominic Sparkspace, he mentioned I should concentrate on specific networks. And because there's a high amount of people there. There's a lot of people. There's a high amount of people on this network. That means a lot of people.
It's good to diversify, though, I think. Right.
And that's why I do this, because there's a different crowd. Like Twitch and Kick and Rumble, I get such different crowds out of them that they all need education. And my thing is, I can dedicate myself to like a Kick or a Twitch or a Rumble or a Insta-cha-cha or a YouTubey or a Facey-bookie or a Linky Winkies. But how about I just do them all? And that's Restream.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with Restream. I mean, it seems to be the one people recommend.
I'm gonna do something bad.
You all right there?
I'm gonna do something bad. I'm gonna drink a soda. I've been craving a Coca-Cola, and I hate that shit, but I love it. But I hate it, but I love it. There's like something in it. It's like a drug.
Here you go.
Oh my God, you're drinking Coca-Cola. Look, it's such a worldwide takeover.
I'm drinking coffee right now, actually, in my mug.
I was drinking water, and the water's gone.
I like cherry.
The espresso's gone.
I'm a big fan of Coca-Cola, but I started drinking cherry Coca-Cola.
So this was the backup. So I haven't drinking it yet. I've been looking at it for a while. I'm really thirsty. but I don't really want to drink it because I've given up sodas. I mean, I smell it. It smells good. Like
They say it's poison, but I
no,
love Coca-Cola.
as I've given up soda, Chris, let me tell you something. I have like when I drink, if I do drink this, I may only take a sip or two, but it will taste chemical. The sugars will not taste good. I can taste through it now.
Yeah.
And only because it was cold and I grabbed it, and because my daughter still drinks Coca-Colas, and so I bought her the Coca-Colas. I'm not gonna punish them for me giving up soda.
Yeah.
When they want to give it up, they give it up. But until then,
it has artificial flavors in it. I know, like the cherries, probably
just
not
the flavors.
real.
The whole fucking thing is artificial.
Yeah, the whole thing's probably a chemical lab, right? Like, that's an
that's
interesting
true.
thing.
Listen, Stealth, it's absolutely the truth. This right here, if this can clean my car batteries, I should drink it.
Artificial fruit flavorings have an interesting history, and I learned this because of vaping. The fruits you can synthesize
extract terpenes.
You can synthesize like every kind of fruit by mixing certain half dozen chemicals together. Will give you pineapple or cherry or strawberry, and you can mix chemicals together to do it.
No, that's crazy. It's the
crazy.
truth.
Yeah, they invented them.
And they invented so those would not be botanical terpenes or botanical flavorings.
No,
those would be chemically derived synthetic flavorings.
It's synthetic, but it's made with normal things like alcohol and I'll have to share the info.
We've used normal things to make this. We've used alcohol, large amounts of alcohol, and we've also used some turpentine. It's all right. It's good turpentine.
Yeah, if you look up the history of art. If you look up the history of artificial flavors, they'll explain how they came up with the fruit flavors.
Why is there heroin in it? Shut up. The heroin is good for the color.
Like, you ever see they have those
coloring? It gives it the red.
They call them flavorists, and they have a lab with 1 million different chemicals, and they combine them and get different flavors. You ever see that?
Okay, with something with that fake flavoring,
it's fake,
introduced into what we eat and what we do. What do you think that's doing to our olfactory? What do you think that's doing to our receptors, to our taste, to
oversaturating?
Right. Yes. And it's saturating it with something chemical, with something
and desensitizing you too, so you need more and more.
And why do you think people drink Diet Coke? Because they drink the fake sugars now that change how the fats work in our bodies, which diet is not good for you. Diet Coke is actually bad for you.
I heard they're bringing back normal sugar Coke, right? I think in the U.S. maybe. I heard. I don't know.
Why is that not something they should have been? We're going to bring back the real. So they're advertising it. Hi, welcome to Coke. We're bringing back real sugar.
Sugar.
For the last 20 years, we've been feeding you sugar that can eat your bones.
That's right.
That deteriorates your liver. That's right. We've been feeding you sugar that makes you shit green.
You can still get.
We're going to give you the real stuff now because we care. Holy shit.
You could still get it in Mexico, right? Like all that time.
So,
they never had it. It always had sugar in Mexico.
Look, in Europe, you get it with real sugar. In Mexico,
you get it with real sugar. Yeah.
In some countries, they wouldn't even want Coca-Cola, and you'll see Pepsi instead of Coca-Cola. When I traveled the world, some countries have Coca-Cola, some countries have Pepsi. I
would go to a fancy Chinese restaurant, and they were upscale, called the Han Dynasty. They have a chain in the Philadelphia area, and very good. And they have a Coca-Cola with sugar in it, but it's from Mexico.
But it's from somewhere else.
From Mexico, right? They bring it in from Mexico. It says from Mexico on there.
So that makes you think. Look, Europe has outlawed and banned most of the chemicals and sugars that we use here in the United States. Most of the things that we do to our food here, like chicken. Oh, this is a big one. And who told me this? I don't even know where I heard this now. But organic chicken isn't organic.
Did you hear on Campbell's soup? The rumors, they're just rumors, and we have to make sure that people know they're just rumors. But they said they synthesized the chicken meat in the Campbell's soup. Maybe you're thinking about that story? Did you hear about that one?
No. I was. What was I talking about? Shit.
Chicken, the synthetic chicken.
Okay. No. So chicken, all chicken in the United States goes through a bleach. a wash.
Oh yeah, I've heard about
And
this.
they wash the chicken, all of it, whether it's organic or not. It all goes through.
It
this
must
chemical
go
bath.
through. It shall and must go through the chemical
Yeah,
bath.
and it goes into this tank of
Right.
chlorinate that has been with every other, even non-organic chicken. So now your organic chicken really is in the same boat as any
As
other
all
chicken.
the synthetic chicken, right? How about that?
And so that's one of the farces, and that's one of the crazy things. And chicken, look, chicken's a crazy thing. I've gotten really funny with meat. I'm eating more fish. You know, and by the way, you said with Campbell's soup, I heard about that.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think that's
I
good.
don't think it's true, but I don't know.
I think it's orchestrated. I think it's inner workings of a bigger corporation that we're not paying attention to. I think right there, that is a play. I'll tell you why.
Publicity play.
No, wait, let's look
stunt,
at Bud
right?
Light. Look at Bud Light. Bud Light had a huge controversy over
Yeah, I remember.
having somebody on their can.
They had a man
transgender.
boy. They had a
The
man
transgender.
Boy.
Okay, now
Transgender.
here's what's
A
interesting.
girly man.
They got all this backlash. Everybody's yelling and screaming and this and that. And nobody's gonna buy their shit. And blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. That infuriated both sides. And the side that didn't normally buy as much Bud Light started buying a lot of Bud Light. And then, after a few months, people are engineered to forget. And we have forgotten entirely. We have no fucking clue even what happened. And now we're back to buying Bud Light, because that's what I drink.
I think those news cycles could change in days too. I think a lot of times, right? There's a big story,
Same thing with the
and then they
Campbell's
just
soup.
throw a news story in. Right? It was distracting from some other story.
Exactly.
Right?
So they're giving you weird news with them, and then all of a sudden, in a few months, Campbell's soup is the #1 Campbell's souper. Look, you should buy their stocks right now. If you've ever listened to me about anything, buy stock right now in Campbell's soup, because their stock is dropping.
Is it? Wow.
For a moment, you buy Campbell's soup when it drops. So right now their stock is dropping. Maybe this is an engineered thing, so people make money. Maybe what nobody's talking about, except for us here on Highly Motivated. So this thing with Campbell's soup and their VP talking shit about their brand and about the synthesized, not
It
real
could be a
chicken.
stock market manipulation. Sure, it could. Yeah,
But
absolutely.
then it's also a larger play. So it's a stock market manipulation.
Right,
So buy their
someone
stock
bet
right now. If
on
you're in
the-
the stocks,
Right.
buy Campbell.
Someone bet on the stock going down and won a bunch of bets that the stock went down.
So they're buying like crazy right now. Maybe it's a corporate buyout as well. Who knows? Whatever. That being said, in a couple of months, they're going to have all these new soups. They're going to talk about how they're using the not meat. So these are not meat, haha, and these are real meat. And we still offer both. And they're both going to be the fucking same. And they're going to make a lot of money.
You know, their marketing is definitely going to be like, it's wholesome and natural, made with 100% real ingredients that are good and tasty for you, you know. Absolutely.
Printed from the goodness of America.
Yeah, that's basic marketing. We like being
Listen.
deceived. You know, we like our popcorn and our microwave ovens, right?
And you know something people forget? And then in a couple of months, they're buying Campbell's because it's the #1 soup, guys.
Yeah.
And
that doesn't last long.
you know, I don't buy. I haven't bought I don't buy things in cans like that. I try not to. My buying has changed.
Frozen's better.
I've woken up, and
Or
earlier,
dry.
well, you asked me what woke me up.
Yeah, what was this event that like you watched the news and you were like, that's kind of fake or something, you know?
So, I don't think it was. I was thinking about that. I'm like, was there one specific moment? And I feel like, and I do feel like there is a part of my life that is not missing, but it's sitting in another dimension. And as I talk about it, I'm like, Oren, you sound a little bit crazy. But no, I feel like I've time slipped twice. 2 specific times I have slipped through the multiverse of time. So
That's
what made me
interesting.
believe more in the government, in this, it's Area 51. It's
Right.
the dark pyramid
So,
in the Antarctic. It's
I was-
all these stories and there's fact behind them and government wash up.
So I was watching an episode of Ancient Aliens today. I just happened to catch it a little earlier, and it was about the Bermuda Triangle. And this pilot, really honest guy, he said his watch lost 20 minutes of time. He went 3,000 miles in 20 minutes or something.
And he said it was unbelievable.
And his watch was not correct. It was off.
Right.
Like he must have traveled through time.
Because there was no way to explain, right?
The only way to explain it, right?
When he arrived, the people were like, "Yeah, we don't know how he got here so fast."
You were missing for a year and a half, and now here you are, or something. Was another guy?
I mentioned Admiral Byrd. Admiral Byrd, actually a revered admiral here in the United States, which has run multiple like Project Paperclip or Project Jumpy in the Antarctic. Or drive this insanely gargantuan vehicle, which was actually just a distraction for building underground bases and shit. So I think Admiral Byrd, in early records, he mentioned he flew through the center of the earth. Now, I believed in all those stories. I believed in those stories, those authors were trying to tell us something, without openly saying, hey, here's some shit happening. There's a civilization inside the earth. Instead, let me tell you the story about this adventurer going into the center of the earth. And it was Jules Verne, right?
Yeah, Jules Verne
and Journey to the Center of the Earth. Yeah. I didn't drink it yet. I still haven't drinking it.
All right, Oren, I'm gonna hop off.
You hop off. I'm gonna go drink this soda. In shame, I'm gonna go drink this. I'm gonna drink it now.
All right. Okay. All right.
It was good to have you, Stealth.
Yeah. I'm still gonna be tuned in, but
thank you. You're awesome.
All right. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for being here.
Right. Bye, everybody.
Have an awesome rest of the week. We'll see you later.
All right. You too.
Later on. Good to have him. Good to have Chris here on the show always. Christopher Sterrell. You can find him on LinkedIn. He's a sci-fi writer, adventurist, inventor of thoughts and mind and path. It's fantastic. So he's creating that time machine and that story, and a sci-fi series is what he's developed and looking to get put on television. So if anybody's watching the show and you're in TV and you are looking for a very interesting show that defies the boundaries of normal television, defies the boundaries of normal television. Think Barbarella. Was that it, Barbarella? Shut up, dude. That was one of the greatest films ever. Barbarella? If you haven't seen Barbarella, shut up. You need to go see some Barbarella. Was it Barbarella? I'm pretty sure, like Barbarella and like the space adventure. I remember seeing that as a kid on like Showtime or Skinamax, or it was something. That was a fantastic movie. I think they did 2 movies. I don't know if I caught the other one exactly as I caught the first. That being said, his sci-fi adventure is a mix of think Barbarella and Doctor Who and what was that guy? The Savior of the Universe? Dun 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 dun. All right, it's popped out of brain, but it will pop in later. It smells. See, the smell makes you want to drink it. I still haven't drinking it yet, though. But I'm so thirsty and I've got nothing else. And even winding the show down, if I leave to go get a drink, that could take me a very long time. Let me just remove the Instagram power source, and we're gonna plug that in, and we're gonna see what's going on with our musical interluding. Well, that shit came back powerful. There you go. No, we're just sitting here chit-chatting, and it's been a great audience. It's been a great evening. We've had some super visitors. We've had Chase and Aja, Gavin and Giraffe. We've had Christopher. This is fantastic. We've had Dominic over here. Welcome, Dominic. And James, new commenter on the show. It is fantastic to have James and Wendy in the background here on the show. What awesome energy. What awesome community. And I tell you, look, we have already evolved into everything. everything and anything that we can be. We are authentically here, just talking, just creating, just being ourselves for a couple of hours a week. And that's what makes this show amazing. It's you. It's the energy. It's the people behind the scenes that help create this, and help give space for this show. There's people in the background that allow me to do this because, I do this Friday, Sunday, Wednesday, 3 times a week. It's a lot. It's a lot. I don't even think about it sometimes. I don't even think about it sometimes. But I've been doing the show so long. I think YouTube has more than 100 episodes that go back in the show. And I think even more than that, I haven't transferred over from the live into my podcast portfolio on YouTube. So I would say there's closer to maybe 200 shows. Maybe 200 shows, whatever. No, we're not that many. We haven't done that many. That would be a lot of shows. All right, okay, I'm going to drink the soda. I feel bad about it, but I'm still going to do it. I don't feel bad. Sometimes, look, you can't feel bad. Sometimes you're going to break your diet. Sometimes you're going to bust your diet. You're going to mess it up. Don't feel bad about that. Don't be hard on yourself. Don't be hard on yourself because we are all fragile humans. We are fragile. We are human. I feel like there's like a show going on in my head, not a show, like an opera, not an opera. I am the Phantom of the Opera, your mastermind. I don't even think that's the words to the thing, but that's okay. I can't be copyrighted for all the wrong fucking words, can I? Okay, I'm gonna drink it. Okay. I don't want to. It's like I haven't had a soda. I really haven't in quite some time. But it was cold. I've got nothing else cold here. This is still cold. Isn't it crazy? 2 hours it's been sitting here. Still chilly. It's kept it chill for quite some time. It wasn't that cold when I started with it. But it's still chilly. Okay. Yes, welcome to the show where Oren goes crazy. Welcome to the show where I lose my mind. Live on Highly Motivated. I lose my mind 3 times a week through the chaos of our society. Why are we not answering the real question? It's like brainwashing. It's like drink it or drink it. You're thirsty and the only thing that can quench your thirst is the cola. But it's not right. It's not true. It's not true. I'm going to abstain for a moment until my thirst is so bad. Until my brain is at such a moment where it's like, you must drink one. If you don't drink the soda, we're going to just shut down on you. The whole brain, the entire body, you're going to see. She could be sitting there and just, I don't know what's happened to me. I should have drinking the soda. Okay, I'm just going to have a little sip. It really does smell good, like lemony and chemically cleansing and refreshing. It really does. It smells chemical. Okay, here, I'm going to drink it. I'm just going to drink. What the fuck am I doing? I'm drinking Coke before, but it's like something now in me is like, don't, Oren, just don't. You've been off of that for so long. But it's like I crave it. It's all right. You can mess up your diet. You can crave shit. It's like New Year's is coming. New Year's is coming, and people are going to make resolutions. Don't quit on New Year's. That puts a lot of pressure on you. That puts a lot of pressure. Quit now. Quit now and microly, like if you're smoking cigarettes and you want to quit cigarettes, quit now. Put the cigarette down now. Smoke 3 less cigarettes a day. Every day, quit another cigarette. And by the time you get to New Year's, you're maybe at 1 cigarette a day. And maybe after New Year's, you have 1 cigarette a week. Don't be hard on yourself. Microdosing yourself out of that situation of nicotine And the oral fixation of cigarette smoking is very difficult. It's hard. So don't be hard on yourself. I say that right before I'm about to drink the worst soda. They're all the worst. Every single one of them. Do you ever read the chemicals? I can't. Look at that writing. Do you see this writing? Nobody could see that shit. Or maybe you can. Maybe if I get really close, I can see it. It's, no, it's where it's bottled. Let me see. Oh, wait, where's I can't see. Ingredients? I can't even see the ingredients. It's like they're hiding it in the very small writing, and they're giving you nutritional facts. Such bullshit. These are terrible. I'm feeling bad. I'm down on myself now for wanting to drink this, so that's how I haven't drinking it. But if I just drink it and shut up already and I can fucking move on back to toxic batteries, that's what I'm going to do. It was quenching. Sugary. Okay. I mean, it was good. It's fine. It's a fucking Coke. It's not spectacular, miraculous. I mean, it's a little lemony. It's all chemical. Like Stealth was talking chemical combinations. Chemical combinations have been put together for your good health. Shut up. Not your good health. I want a cannabis cola. I did. I tried that Keef cola. I wasn't impressed. I want a natural kombucha cannabis cola. Is it possible? I'm going to try. I'm going to try something. I'm going to do a fermenting of cannabis, get the cannabis juice, and then I'm going to make it into like a honey kombucha. I'm going to try. I'm going to just, whatever. I'm just going to drink a lot of cannabis juice and see what happens. And I think it's going to help my body. I think it's going to help my skin and my hair. It's going to be very nice. You know, body restorative. Very exciting. Exciting. Welcome everybody to Highly Motivated. We are here tonight talking about batteries and why we have not changed the technology. You know, I think, it hurts. I said earlier, it was hemp, sodium ion, graphene, carbon-based cells, and iron air. That is what should be replacing lead in many different sectors. And let me see. So yeah, the right question exposes the entire global battery problem. We're asking the right questions. Lead batteries are killing people today. Hemp batteries could stop that tomorrow. If the world wants cleaner recycling, healthier children, safer workers, renewable materials, sustainable storage, and decentralized manufacturing, hemp is the solution. The only question is, when does the world finally listen? We were asking Gavin earlier. It's because we're comfortable with the way things are. We're good to go along with the get along. We don't want things to get more expensive. So we pay an extra $20 for a battery that saves our children's lives, that doesn't poison the wells and the water and the land. I think that's worth 20 more. Money is only paper and money. I know. We're trying to be cost effective and we're living in an expensive world, but it's made expensive by the people who control us. It's made expensive by the corporations. It's made expensive by your government. So if you can't survive, it's because of the corporation government complex. If they're not paying you enough, it's because this is where they control you. And so now the cost of living goes up and we can barely make it. So why would we spend more for safer, renewable materials? Why? When we could barely survive now. I understand. So we need to change the narrative. We need to change where it's coming from. We need to stop it at the source. Stop paying them to destroy and control us. Oh, it's a serious topic. It's moving. It's emotional. And And in most before, I would have hidden this emotion towards the government corporate entity. I would have hidden this because they control the algorithm, they control the view. I would have hidden this because this wakes them up to me knowing what they're doing. And I'm waking other people up to that as well. This should be a revolution, a digital stand. By growing our own hemp as a country, we change into a new agricultural revolution, an agricultural industrial boom that the world will follow. Why would it follow? Because they always follow what the United States does. They always follow what America does. If America's doing it, damn it, we better do it. Solar energy is fine, it's great, it's working. We need more. We need good batteries that can contain this. We want batteries that, we want batteries that can hold these renewable energies that we are creating. We want a better future. We want more understanding, more education, more involvement, more. And that's what we need to do. We need to be a part of it. We need to be accountable. We need to be authentic. We need to stand up and we need to be there. The corporations start charging us too much, then stop buying their shit. Stop buying the goods that they program you to buy. You don't need this and that and this and that and this and that. But they told you to buy all this shit, so you did. They told you you need this shit to cook or to survive or whatever, but you don't. I don't shop other than food. I don't need more than what I have. I don't need any strange items, even though some of them, like the other day I was thinking about a motorcycle. I was like, oh, right. And then I was like, no, because Angie would kill me. Angie would absolutely kill me if I went and got a motorcycle. So, but like the thought was there because of some advertisement I seen. I thought, like, it stuck in my head. They grab you with those things and then you buy this and now you're into payments. Oh, what do I need? A new car? Let me buy this and I'm into payments. Let me use my credit card. Let me pay that off. Let me do this. Let me do that. And then you're into payments. And then you're living month to month on everything you're making and spending in payments. I need a bigger TV. I need more TVs. I need 7 TVs and 2 microwaves. I need. Oh, I need a nicer car now because Jim down the street's got a nicer car. Oh, I need this because they've got this. I don't care who's got what. I don't give a shit if you don't think I got enough. I have family. I have love. I have energy. I have beautiful people around me. I don't need much else. I've got goats. Zeus is he's kinda pushy. Zeus is a pushy goat. Hera is the other goat, the female goat. Lovely goat. A lovely goat. You know what I'm gonna do? I think tomorrow, if I have time, I'm gonna extend the pen and put Zeus in another pen. I'm gonna put Zeus in another pen. Zeus is a little rough, so I'm gonna give him another pen. And I'll leave Hera the larger pen. Let's play, let's dance. But I think she really needs Zeus, but Zeus is so pushy. I'm talking about the goats. I have goats, I love the goats. I love gardening. I was so upset when we got that super quick cold snap here in Florida. Like one day we had a cold snap and it killed off some of the plants. I think I even talked about it on the show that I was gonna go cover up the plants. I still couldn't save all of them. I mean, I smoked the ones I could, but no, not those kind of plants. I have a lovely botanical garden. That's what I'm saying. Needs and wants change. So don't buy into corporate America. Don't buy into all of their created, engineered holidays that drain your pocketbook and keep you living month to month in their cycle of working you, in their cycle. I say that as I take another swig of Coca-Cola, which I didn't want to drink it, And it was okay. It's all right. It's not phenomenal. I'm taking tiny sip. It's all chemical representations of flavor. It's gassy. It's chemically sodium, this, that. There's so much salt. There's so much sugar. There's no way any of that can be good for you. And that is like the first soda I've had. I don't know, like 2 weeks maybe? I had one like 2 weeks ago on the show. And I felt terrible about it. But don't feel overly bad. That's what I was saying. You're going to have, you know, we're coming up to the part of the year where you have New Year's resolutions and people want to lose weight or they want to quit smoking. They want to put the crack pipe down. No, I don't. That's a big one. There's a lot of things. Look, I'm not joking. It goes from the extreme. And we put everything, all of our trust into New Year's, all of our faith into it. Like we quit smoking. We do it right there at the countdown, right before it gets to 1. We put out our cigarette, we blow it out, and we're like, all right, I quit. And now there's pressure on you. Now there's pressure on you, and now you're like, oh, what do I do? I mean, you feel that pressure. 5 minutes after New Year's, you're smoking another cigarette. 5 minutes after because you put this pressure, and then you feel bad about it. If you quit in micro, you know, oh, excuse me. If you do it little by little by little, it does incredible things. Incredible things it does. I'm just jazzed right here. By the way, one of our other, so that was hemp replacing iron ore or hemp replacing batteries as we know them right now. So I think that was one of our micro topics. We got into it. We spoke about it. We jumped back and forth to it a couple of times. But something we started talking about while Chris was on the show. And before we end our show tonight, I just want to say that maybe when we pick this up on Friday, we're going to talk about this a little bit more. How much DNA do humans and cannabis share? 40 to 50% DNA we share with the plant. 40 to 50%. So maybe Friday, we should probably talk about this. We did on the last show, we were talking about fermenting raw cannabis. So coming up soon, I don't know what product I'm going to use. I think I'm going to use a dried cured bud that has not been activated, that has been sealed in air seal for quite a long time. I think I'm going to pull a very lovely bud that is trichome rich still, and still juicy and had a moisture pack in it, keeping it going. I think I'm going to take a 1/4 pound of it and we're going to ferment that and a lacto fermentation. We will do a lacto fermentation of a 1/4 pound of some lovely bud, maybe some OG Chem, maybe some apple fritter. We'll do the apple fritter. We'll do a 1/4 pound of the apple fritter, and we'll do like in a gallon. I think like a 1/4 pound to a gallon fermenter jar, and we're going to ferment it. Listen. Let me do you know what we're going to do right now? I'm going to list out what we're going to do, like how we're going to ferment it, what we're going to put in it. Okay. So the fermentation, here, I'm just going to put fermentation so that everybody is prepared. So for the raw cannabis lacto fermentation, okay, we're going to do a salt brine. We're going to add honey, garlic, cloves, like a garlic clove, not a whole clove, maybe like 1 or 2, maybe 3, maybe 4. Honey, garlic, maybe ginger. Oh, now we're talking about a little bit of magic. Now we're talking about something quite amazing. So salt brine, the cannabis. So I'm gonna put the cannabis, cannabis. All right, we're going to chop up the cannabis a bit so that the inner leaves and everything are exposed. But a salt brine, it's going to sit in like a salt brining with honey and garlic and ginger. All right, so salt, honey, garlic, ginger, maybe some beet extract or beet kvass. Maybe like I'm gonna put like some beet kvass or like a turmeric. Okay, I don't know. We're gonna look into a combination, but I'm really liking this honey, garlic, ginger, salt brined cannabis, and we're going to let that sit and lacto ferment for like 30 days. And after 30 days of a good lacto fermentation where we check on it regularly, and we're gonna do it sterile and clean and everything so the bubbles and all the beautifulness happens. Just like that. We're gonna put it just like that. I'm not putting any extra things. It's water. It's going to be water, cannabis, a water salt brine, cannabis, honey, garlic, ginger, maybe beet kvass, maybe turmeric, I don't know. And we're gonna sit this in a jar, and it's gonna sit there for 30 days where we open it, we're gonna check it, we're gonna put it back, maybe we're gonna taste it here on the show. But that's what we're gonna put together. That's going to be the 30-day fermentation. And then we will drain the liquid from that. We'll drain all that liquid, and all that liquid will now be your fermented cannabis brine or your fermented cannabis brew. It's a brew. It's fermented. It's more bioavailable. You know, we've extracted every essence, the magnesium, the manganese, the omega-3, the omega-6, all that liquefied fiber and proteins and all that beautiful goodness that's happening right there in the bloody plant. That's what's happening. So, so that's what we're going to do. And then I'm going to take that juice. We're going to try it. We're going to take some shots. But I'm going to take that cannabis juice and turn it into a mead. Now that is processing it naturally, like a gift from the gods, you know, ambrosia maybe. But we're going to make a mead. So we will then add 3 pounds of honey to that 1 gallon lacto-fermented cannabis brew, and some yeast, some beer yeast or wine yeast or something to help create the alcohol, because it's going to be a very different kind of drink. Or most likely I'm going to leave it alone before we do that. I'm going to leave it a little bit on the side, specifically for my once a year unveiling of a mead, of a honey wine. Oh, delicious, nutritious, good for the soul. But my I want to call it high intentions. I want to call it high intention. The high intentions. I don't know. We'll name it. Maybe we'll name it as highly motivated. We will name my cannabis infused mead, my super cannabis kombucha style mead. It's going to be something new. It's going to be something amazing. It's something that we're going to do together. Okay. I've chit-chatted for a long time. We chit-chatted about a lot of different things. We even brought up engineered spending holidays, reclaiming our authenticity, our wants, our needs, what we're really into. I did mention, I think, on the next show, we are going to talk about how DNA and cannabis share such a close tie. I mean, it's cannabis, humans, there's, I don't know, bacteria, mice, bananas. We are 60% banana. I mean, I already knew I was a little bananas. But now I think I'm a lot bananas. I'm 60% bananas. So wait, if we eat banana, is that like cannibalism? There's a lot to think about. The more I drink it, the more chemically It tastes at like the roof of my mouth. That first sip was like, hey, I got you. That second sip was like, all right, I'm starting to break down that initial grabbing pull, that hold. The soda by the third sip, fourth sip is just, ugh. I know why I don't drink soda now. I used to love it. I used to be so addicted to Dr. Pepper. You know how much I love Dr. Pepper. I still drink an occasional Dr. Pepper, the berry one, not the berry, what is it? The blueberry, not the blueberry. What the fuck is it? Raspberry, blueberry, shit, no. Dr. Pepper, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. See, brain just got brainwashed or controlled by Coca-Cola. That's all I can think right now is stupid Coca-Cola. What a crazy thing. So anyways, tonight we talked about a lot. We talked about the new possibilities of my show being on Spotify, Podbean, and soon, maybe, a US weed channel. A channel all about weed, all about cannabis, all about marijuana. Oh, excuse me. So I'm talking to them now about the possibility of trying to bring my show over. I think that would be very exciting. I think what a great opportunity to bring the show to a television station. You heard me. A TV station. I don't want to jinx anything by talking. I'm like, I don't want to jinx anything. But I think it's community. I think it's open. I think it's fantastic that you let people know and put it out there in the universe what we're looking to be a part of, what we're looking to help change, what we're looking to help boost. Because I'm sure if my show is on the US Weed channel, I'll be boosty woosties. I'll be boosty woosties. But hey, what a great night. What a great chat. What a great group of people. You were all absolutely amazing. Amazing, I tell you. Bloody amazing. Amazing. You look, you are powerful. You are creating the universe around you in the now. Your energy, your authenticity, not your needs, not your wants, your belief, your desire. That's the trick. Don't need, don't want, don't expect anything. Put it out there, put gratitude into the universe, but don't expect anything back. Just put it there, and good shit comes back to you. Good shit comes back to you. So I hope good shit's coming back to you this whole week. I hope it's a great week of good shit. Just good things happening to you all the way around. Thank you for being here and Highly Motivated. We're back here in the home studio. I don't know for how long. I don't know where I'm going to end up next, but join the adventure. Be a part of the journey. Thank you, everybody on Highly Motivated. And if I didn't thank you personally, you know I'm sending energy out to you as well. Everybody always. Oh, Frank the Tank, just sending out big ups. Just big energy. Haven't spoken in a long time, and just thought of you. I was like, hey, Frank the Tank. We haven't talked to Hojo in a long time. We haven't had Eric and his fucking llamas on the show in quite some time. But I spoke to Eric on the phone the other day. I was like, get on the show, bring your llama. He's like, it's not a llama, it's an alpaca. It's probably not an alpaca, it's probably a llama. I should be calling it a fucking alpaca now. Who has alpacas? Who's raising alpacas? He's a farmer. He's out there in Dallas, Texas. We're out in the farmlands, and he's got a nice little farm. He's got a nice little thing going there. He's a good guy. He's a great guy. Everybody's a good person. And not just because you come to my show, but because you come to my show. No, I think you're all amazing. We've had James this evening in the show, and of course, Troublesome Red, thank you for coming to the show. And Spark Space, Dominic. Troublesome Red's a lot of trouble now. She's a whole lot of trouble. No, I don't know. But she's awesome and brings awesome energy into the show. And that's what it's all about. We had Overdue Hubcap trying to bring us some cheap viewers tonight. I don't think it's going to happen over Overdue Hubcap. Overdue Hub. Where do these names come up with? You're going to be Overdue Hubcap. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay. I'm rambly. We're getting close to our 3-hour mark. Wow, that's fantastic. You never know what this show's going to be. Okay, I got to go. I'm going to go. I can't eat anything. But I'm still going to go look at the fridge. I'm still going to open the fridge. I'm going to look in there and be like, no. And I'll go back and forth a couple of times. And then there's ice cream. So I'm going to open the ice cream. I'm going to smell it. I might get a spoon and be like, just a little bit. But that's the worst I'm going to be. That being said, be amazing. Be incredible. Be everything. All right. Good night. Ciao. Arrivederci. Do svidania. Auf Wiedersehen. La 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 la. Okay.